Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the by my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get him, I got him, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, all them feelings I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you on my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now, I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. It's trash now, I'm a spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth. I've been ducked off, getting in my new merch, colored duck sauce on the new couch with my Chucks on. Get the on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a hawk guy on the ball cat, get the out of my face.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head.
All right, all right. Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, DMG the Poet, aka Brother Pianki. And today we got a powerful show with a powerful guest. This was supposed to be a powerful debate, but you know how things go. Sometimes it don't work out the way you want it to. And so you got to improvise. And the brother was gracious enough to come on and do his presentation. So with that being said, before the brother gets into his spiel, y'all know what I got to do. I got to do my usual greeting. So let me say hotep to my Kemetic brothers and sisters. Let me say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me say shalom to my Israelite brothers and sisters. Let me say assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Let me say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. Let me say peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. Let me say what's up to all my atheist brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my Abo brothers and sisters. Peace to all my Rasta brothers and sisters. And last but not least, let me say Jumbo to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. Is because if you're black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can't have unity without uniformity. And we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. We're going to get there one day. That being said, my brother AOne.
Let's go.
What do you talk to us about what would have been, I believe, a really good debate / dialogue, and then get into what you have for us here today.
Well, it would have been a good dialogue. I'm sure this guy was going to bring, his best apologist argument if he would have showed up. But, again, this is what I said I thought was going to happen from the beginning, that he was going to create some type of situation as a reason not to show up, via him throwing his weird energy around, trying to create animosity, trying to, get people to fall out about things left and right. I tried to stay out of people's way. I wasn't for the diva energy. I had my head in the books. And every time I look up, he's online. And every time I look back up, like the debate was back on and then it was back off. I'm like, what is going on? I'm going to just keep going to work. I'm going to keep reading. I didn't have time to really keep up with his melodramas, his mini melodramas. So, short of any ad hominem attacks, because that's not what this was supposed to be about. I wasn't coming up here today to slander him and bash him. I think he's a decent character nonetheless. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, he didn't show, he's not here. That's all that matters. You don't set debates and then don't show up. So I will be making myself a belt for this one, we're going to ahead crown me the winner and let's get into this, I'll just do a brief presentation minus go ahead.
I had a mind. No. I had a mind to just go ahead and crown you the Paradigm Shift TV 314 champion, but we still got the business of the tournament. So I'm like, dang, I can't do that. But I started to do it because, but
we can't see you.
Yeah. Hold tight.
Hold tight. I'll hold it down for you.
Yeah, no, I started to to do that. And I was like, nah, you know, we still got the business of the tournament, so I can't just, you know, say the brother is the elect the brother as the champ. But in my mind, I was like, you know what? With all the on again, off again, shit, all of that shenanigans, man. With you paying for the flyer and all of that, just all the effort that you put into making sure that this went down. I was like, you know what? He the champ. He the first ever champ. Ratchet was talking about us doing our own debate league unto ourselves. You know, shout out to the brothers that's doing they whole conglomerate thing, but just, you know, to us to our own and what we got going on. And I was like, you know what? We just gonna get him the belt. That the tournament is gonna be to determine who gonna be the first contender. You know what I mean?
And it's funny. Go ahead. I'm listening.
To be honest, I ain't made my mind up yet whether or not I'm not gonna do it. So we'll get to that as it progresses. But go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny you threw that out there that I paid for the flyer, because I saw him talking about that in the video and talking about my gold chains, and it's like he should have been at home working on a presentation to come with today. Instead, he's up at night doing videos about me, and if I'm being cheap because I wanted to, and asking for extensions, because I feel like anything that we do should have you know, promotion and marketing behind it. You know, if we don't make ourselves a big deal, who is? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was like, but see, the thing is that he doesn't know I do lost wax casting and I make gold teeth and I make jewelry for everybody in the hood around here. So everybody know me for that. I'm a jeweler. So
shout out.
You know, you can look me up on Instagram, my jewelry page at Miami_designer_305. And look at some of the work and stuff I've done. I sell designer clothing. I had a store for the last 5 years. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm used to promoting anything that we do. You know, when I do the back to school drives, when I do the winter coat drives, when we feed the homeless, we give ourselves 30 days of promotion for everything that we're coming with. We don't just try to pop up, you know what I'm saying? Because we want to try to fill the stands. So it wasn't about the $60. Like I say, I spend that on lunch, you know, so that's DoorDash.
Yeah, and I think that was just him being him with that little jab at, you know, this brother got on huge Cuban chains. He I do remember him saying that. That is hilarious, man.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, is this where we've gotten to? You know, is this where we've gotten to? You know, he could come and bash me for hours on end, but he can't show up to present this information, defend his claims, and, you know, bring any argument for it. But, you know, I'm not, like, again, you know, I'm not going to stoop to their level and get into any of that, you know. So.
And like I say, you know, it's one of them things where I wish it would have went the other way, but, you know, it happens, and we got to move on and make the best of the of an unfortunate situation and keep it pushing. So let's go ahead and get into your presentation.
Okay. Let me share it again. You just took it down.
Oh, my bad.
That was it.
Oh,
that's where we at. Boom. You see, I got the X over his face. You know, another one bites the dust, you know. I had him beat mentally. You know, he didn't even show up.
Real quick, let me say this. For the people who watching, go subscribe to my brother Rocky new channel. It's launching next month. It's coffee culture and comparative mythology. I was trying to drop the link, but it's not giving the link the way I thought it would. Rocky, if you're listening, go to your channel and create a link or grab the link directly from the channel, because for some reason this one I got is not providing it to where they can click on it. But if you type in coffee, culture, and comparative mythology, it shouldn't be difficult to find. And definitely subscribe to that channel and support the brother. He's gonna be doing some powerful things over there. One of our brilliant young brothers that we got in the community. So please go check him out. I think I was the first person to subscribe. I'm kind of proud. So y'all please go support the brother, and let's make sure we get that channel built up to the same level as others. Hopefully it'll be beyond mine within the first month. But I wanted to get that out the way. Shout out to Courtney Thompson in the building. I see my brother Nerdy Brew in the building as well. All right, AOne, it's on you, bro.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say shout out Courtney. I saw him in the chat. Coffee culture and comparative mythology. I like the sound of that. I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get into where we would have went. You know, the debate was on and off so many times. You know, I had 3 presentations I was really compiling into one, and having a plan B, C, and D depending on where his argument may have went. But I'm going to do a basic of what, you know, the basic framework of, you know, what it would have looked like. The flow of the argument. First, I'm going to go over the burdens, the fallacy, history, the evidence, and then I'll conclude. The burden of proof rests with the person making the claim and a positive claim. It is shifting the burden of proof for the person making the positive claim to insist that those who deny the positive claim have the burden to prove that the positive claim is false. And his claim is that Jesus is a historical figure. I don't make the claim that Jesus wasn't a real person. My claim is just that we don't have enough evidence to say that yet. That the evidence that people are presenting isn't reflective of the conclusions that they're drawing. Let me get back into this. So Leandre would have had to provide evidence to prove his claim, which he cannot do. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if he's absent for some reason. Comes debate time, or tries to start a fight with me or something. It's funny, I wrote all this and then I foretold what was going to happen. So am I a prophet? You know?
Wait a minute. So you put that into the presentation?
I put it into the presentation. I was going to read it to him, you know what I'm saying, as a joke, but you know, it's funny that he didn't show. So
wow.
Again, or tries to start a fight with me for some reason and not show up. And if he does show up at all he's going to have is secondary or tertiary. Say that word for me again.
Tertiary.
Tertiary. I always butcher that word. Secondary or tertiary sources and Christian apologist propaganda for ammo. So if he did show up, that's all he was going to have. He wasn't going to have any primary sources as evidence. He wasn't going to have any physical evidence, anything Jesus wrote down, any eyewitness accountings, none of that. So, but what I was going to show, even though that I don't have to prove a claim, I was going to show the methodology and how I came to my conclusion that we don't have enough evidence for this claim to be substantiated. Let's keep it moving. And again, I say that all he can come with is tertiary sources or secondary sources. He has no raw data, original sources of information before it has been analyzed. He has no firsthand observations, contemporary accounts of the events, or viewpoints at the time. Examples of those would be interviews, speeches, diaries of people who were there. It says birth certificates, journal articles, newspaper articles written at the time. Again, at best, we have people who were born, you know, a lifetime at best. You know, that's at best. Mostly a little later than 2 lifetimes after Jesus would have been supposedly resurrected, allegedly. So again, he wouldn't have any of these primary sources, what you see in the green. Nothing in the green over here. All he would have is what you see in the orange and the blue. And again, you know, that can't be really used to verify much. Um, this is from the Scholarly Community Encyclopedia. The holder of the burden, when two parties are in a discussion and one makes a claim that the other disputes, the one who makes the claim typically has a burden of proof. And again, his claim is that Jesus was a historical person. If I claim that unicorns exist, it is up to me to provide the proof of that. I am the one making the claim. I'm just going over this. Where was I at? Burden of proof to justify or substantiate the claim, especially when it challenges a perceived status quo. This is also stated in Hitchens' Razor of Proof, Razor, which declares that what may be asserted without evidence may be dismissed without evidence. Carl Sagan proposed a related criterion. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. If this man existed, Jesus Christ, this man who walked on water, was resurrected, who drew multitudes across a region, fed many with little amounts of food, where's the evidence for this? Okay. That's what I'm asking for, because he's the guy making the claim. Again, shifting the burden of proof. One way in which one would attempt to shift the burden of proof is by committing a logical fallacy, which is what I expected him to show up and do today. He calls himself Mr. Logic. We're going to start calling him Mr. Logical Fallacy, because when it comes to topics of virgin birth, Jesus being a historical figure, talking donkeys, and talking serpents, this guy literally is a illogical fallacy. Let's keep it moving. So yeah, he was going to shift the burden of proof, and that's committing a logical fallacy known as the argument from ignorance. It occurs when either opposition is assumed to be true because it has not yet been proven false. So again, I didn't come here to say that he wasn't a real person. I just said we don't have enough evidence to move him out of the myth category. I know many people believed in him. I know that there's stories about this guy existing. We just don't have any primary sources for this. Proving a negative, I'm not even going to get into that. We already know where that's going. That's something I'm not going to try to do. You can prove a negative, but at the same time, I can't prove that there aren't invisible aliens around me right now. No, I can't prove that. So, and if they're invisible, I probably wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe there would be a way to find evidence of that, but as of yet, I don't see any right now. Do you see any behind me, DMG? You don't see any aliens behind me? No? Okay. I'm just making sure. Can you hear me? Everything good? My sound good?
Everything good, bro.
Okay, let's keep it moving. Okay, burden of proof fallacy. Someone makes a claim that requires evidence, then shifts the burden of proof onto another to prove it wrong. Again, this is what I expected him to come here to do today, to make me try to prove that Jesus didn't exist, and shift the burden of proof from himself to me. Again, which would be a logical fallacy, which he's well known for. Right here, the example shows you claim unicorns are real. Where's the evidence? Do your research, prove they aren't real, which is what he was probably going to show up and do today. You have to Google it, look it up. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Claims made without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. And we're going to get into what they actually have as evidence and see if it stands up to the historical method today. He has shifted the burden of proof in an attempt to elicit an argument from ignorance. Again, this was me assuming he was going to show up and that this was the tactic that he would have taken. But the world may never know. What commercial is that? When the owl is... Oh, that's the Tootsie Roll commercial.
Tootsie Roll commercial.
He's like, the world may never know. Okay. That also makes me think of Kanye. He says, what would have happened if somebody else would have won? I guess we'll never know. Okay, argument from ignorance. The assumption of a conclusion or fact based primarily on a lack of evidence to the contrary. Usually best described by the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. And he was going to attempt to get me to make this argument from ignorance by shifting the burden of proof to me. But, I'm not falling for that. The burden of proof isn't the ball isn't in my part. We can say that. Okay. The historical existence of Jesus Christ is a topic that has been debated among scholars and theologians for centuries. While the narrative of Jesus is deeply ingrained in religious traditions, the secular evidence supporting his existence is notably thin. The primary challenge lies in the scarcity of contemporary non-religious accounts. Okay. We don't have any records. This is the thing. We don't have any carvings on the wall. We don't have a crown of thorns. A lot of evidence that they used to say. Let me see what's going on. Oh, you know what? I can bring myself big over here so I can see me and you at this and my presentation at the same time. Okay. So, yeah, a lot of evidence that they used to claim that they had for the existence of Jesus, the crown of thorns, things of that nature. Modern science now disproves, and they don't tout those things in your face as evidence anymore. The Shroud of Turin, again, another piece of evidence that they claim to have had that has been debunked.
So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. So you feel like the things that are said to be evidence today could in the future be pushed aside as non-evidence?
Can you name what evidence you're speaking of specifically?
So since we're talking about history, we really have to talk about what's written about an individual.
Okay.
And so it would be, and if you get into any of this in the presentation, just tell me.
Okay. Hold up. Yeah, I'm about to get to all of that,
and I'll be happy to wait.
I'm about to get to all of that.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. Even in this paragraph right here, I'm about to get to all of that. I'm about to touch on this.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to make it full screen though, so I can see me and my presentation.
I got it full screen for the audience.
All right, let me just go back to my presentation. Okay, the historical existence of Jesus Christ is a topic that has been debated among scholars and theologians for centuries. While the narrative of Jesus is deeply ingrained in religious traditions, the secular evidence supporting his existence is notably thin. The primary challenge lies in the scarcity of contemporary non-religious accounts of Jesus during his supposed lifetime, which is exactly what you were just asking about, I believe. And the Gospels, considered the main sources of information about Jesus, were written several decades after his death, and the authors were not eyewitnesses. Okay? Additionally, these texts are inherently religious and lack objectivity expected in historical documentation. Did you hear what I'm saying, DMG, about the Gospels?
I heard.
They lack objectivity expected in historical documentation. The absence of independent corroborating accounts from contemporary historians of Jesus' time further complicates the matter. Prominent historians of the first century, such as Pliny the Elder and Seneca, make no mention of Jesus in their writings. The authenticity of the few references to Jesus in Josephus's work is disputed among scholars, with some arguing that they were later Christian interpolations, which again, I just say is a nice word for forgery. Okay. But we have to realize we're in a Christian apologist society. The West rules right now. And, these are the hurdles that we have to get through when we're trying to do accurate history. Let me keep it moving. While archaeology has unearthed valuable insights into the ancient world, no direct evidence linking archaeological findings to the historical Jesus has been established. In essence, the challenge in proving the existence of Jesus lies in the scarcity of compelling secular evidence, leaving the debate perpetually shrouded in historical ambiguity. So it's over with.
May I ask a question about, because so when you say the Gospels, considered to be the main sources of information about Jesus, were written several decades after his death, and their authors were not eyewitnesses. Additionally, their texts are inherently religious and lack the objectivity expected in historical documentation. Are you familiar with the criteria of embarrassment?
Yes, yes.
So would you not consider that to be objectivity in that would go against societal norms of the day, that would go against, in terms of people admitting that this was the case, that women were the first to encounter this resurrected Jesus, that women went back and reported it to the men, etc. Would that not give more credence to the story that they actually said this about these women?
Now you're talking about the women that came and saw and left. I don't believe they actually said anything.
They
I
came
think
to
they were
give
told
spices
to go
and
spread the
whatnot.
word, correct? You're talking about the ladies that were told to go spread the word once Jesus was gone from his tomb?
Well, you had a situation where they were told to go tell the disciples that he had risen, and so they go tell them, and that's when you had the scene where Peter and the disciple whom he loved, who I know you're familiar with,
John.
He runs past Peter, I think, to get to the tomb, and they find the tomb open. So the ladies did go back and tell the disciples that he wasn't there or whatever. And my point in bringing that up is that if this was merely just religious propaganda, given when it was written, I don't think they include the women. I think it would have just been two dudes that went to go check on the tomb for whatever reason. It wouldn't have been to do the spice thing because that was a female thing to do, but it would have been just two dudes that went to check on this tomb for whatever reason. Even if the women did go back and tell them, they probably wouldn't have mentioned that in the story because they were women. They were worse off as second-class citizens than the women who were fighting for women's liberation during our time. So, but what's your thoughts on that? You muted.
I was gonna say I think that's a stretch. It's a nice argument. I just think that you're looking for the text to explain the text, which again, I'm about to go over why this text is unreliable in these next couple of slides.
Okay.
And I don't think that it's hard to make sense out of nonsense. So going back to the Bible to explain the Bible is the claim. It's never the evidence. But I mean, it can be, but you get my point.
I'm with you.
The criterion of embarrassment may apply, but women have been used throughout the Bible, even from the Immaculate Conception. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it falls under that because women do play prominent roles in the Bible, not major, but we have women characters who, like again, Mary, she's births, the virgin birth. That's a major role. Like, even in Catholicism, they venerate her because of this, of her major role, and they, you see the little cars and her on all the candles. And
it's funny you say that because my position has always been that the fact that we have women being pushed to the forefront in what's generally considered a misogynistic religion lends more to its credence or legitimacy as being true than it would not being true. Because again, this is generally viewed as a misogynistic religion. It's a male god. Women are to obey their husbands, etc. Yet you have a woman bringing this God into the world. He couldn't God just snap his finger and God is there? But it took this woman to bring him into the world. When he died, it was two women there when these men ran. But his mother and this other woman was 10 toes down. When he resurrected, it was more women. That same woman, that matter of fact, that was there when he died with his mother was there, one of the women who saw him resurrect. So my thing is, for this to be such a misogynistic region and story from that region, yet these women are pushed to the forefront, that's kind of heavy. But that's my personal thing.
I respect it. I respect it. We can listen. We can. What's your slogan?
Agree to disagree without being disrespectfully
disagreeable. Yeah, we could agree to disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable, because I think at the same time their roles are doing exactly what you said. Obey. We've got an underage mom. We've got a teenage mom out here pregnant. She didn't ask for the baby. You know, I don't think that. I think that's very misogynistic. You know what I'm saying? Especially with women's rights and them wanting to have control over their bodies. She didn't ask for this damn baby. So to me, that was quite odd that God would find that way to send his son here when he could just create him out of the dust and dirt the same way he did Adam. You know, why give some teenage mom a mysterious birth? I just always found that quite odd.
Well, how you know she was a teenager?
That's another topic for another day. I don't want to get into all of that right now. But
okay.
Right now, we'll just leave it. Right now, it's assumed. It's not definite, but it is assumed. Okay. Things in the text allude to that.
Gotcha. All right, yeah. let me mute out and let me finish. Let you finish this joint.
Wait, and even the women, they're obeying when they leave the tomb. Go tell the people they're taking an order. But I don't believe that they said anything if my memory is correct. But again, that's not what I was studying on. That's just me trying to remember. And I now read so much. So yeah, let's keep it moving. You know, the lack of contemporary records that are unbiased is really the biggest problem, being that we have no physical evidence. Okay, the historical method. The historian selects a subject for investigation. Good history is driven by thought-provoking questions about the past on topics or events that have made a difference in history or are relevant to contemporary concerns. The historian wants to know what happened and why it happened. A good question helps the historian focus on a topic and helps to make the subject manageable. Okay, number two, the historian applies the historical method. Sometime after, and I'm going to break down this chart that I made. Sometime after an historical event takes place, the historian collects any remains and records left behind, rigorously analyzes and criticizes the sources, selects and organizes information, and records his or her interpretation of the event. Now, what I'm going to show you is how different people are coming to different conclusions based on, you know, this information, and it's pretty much comes down to bias. The stories told about a history are influenced by the interaction between the evidence of the past and the historian. And exactly in the last sentence, it explains how the historical method can be corrupted. The stories told about history, I'm going to read this last sentence again. The stories told about history are influenced by the interaction between the evidence of the past and the historian. Okay. Almost something similar to eisegesis, where somebody's putting their own interpretation onto the data being analyzed. Well, eisegesis would be the text being read specifically, which is something that, you know, I gave Leandre points on because he was actually right about. It's funny. I didn't like that either. You know, but I'm not about to sit up and make videos about people all day and all night. That's just not my thing. You know, I'd rather be reading and studying. but I do see what they say. You know, I just not responded. But I gave him credit because he was right about um the people who I was studying from eisegeting the text and putting their interpretation about David and Jonathan being gay. And I was like, you know what? I think you're right. And then he tried to slam me for it. You know, it's like at this point, you're getting when I'm getting insulted for being for being sincere and not being disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? When and saying, you know what, you taught me something. You know,
Hey, he would probably be adamantly against Darwinism,
mm,
but when it comes to conversation, he is a Darwinist. Only the
mm,
strong survive. So you showed weakness to him, and
yeah,
so there's no let me give him props for showing this weakness. No, let me finish him like this is Mortal Kombat. You can't show
yeah,
weakness
it's not weakness.
to your opposition. And no,
I
and
showed
that's
strength.
why I said to him that was weakness because I've been telling you were wrong this whole entire time.
No, we hadn't. That was the first time we
And
spoke.
I'm just telling you,
But I
like you
understand.
have to know the animal in which you're dealing with. I've been telling you wrong this whole entire time. So now you want to come and comp a plea because after me telling you 50 times that you was wrong, you figured out that you was wrong. So now you want to come and comp a plea to me and you think I'm gonna let you live
Nah, he said it
on
like
that?
he said it like 2 times on the debate. I had to look up into it. I didn't realize at first,
That's just
but
like when you
you
when you
know,
know when you know the animal you dealing with, you figure out how not to swim with that shark. So
steel's supposed to sharpen steel. It just sucks that this is where our dialogue has gotten to. Because it was supposed to be copacetic. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe I came in like one of these new age rappers dissing people, trying to make a name for myself, and
but
he didn't like that.
you didn't really diss nobody though. It's not you. It's not you.
You
He
see,
is a have you ever seen a shark attack? Whether it was
shark attack.
whether it was in a movie or in real life, like like Shark Week. Have you ever seen the ferocity in which a shark attacks his prey?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or a lion or a tiger. It's that's when it comes to people quote unquote attacking the gospel, you become his prey. And
Oh, okay,
he
yeah.
is a lion,
So
and when you start attacking the gospel, you are the antelope.
he's a
And
true apologist.
that's his
He's a true
attitude. Yeah.
apologist.
He's an
And he didn't show up today because he knows when the historical method is applied to this evidence that
oh, wow.
he was going to look
Wow.
real bad for the home team and all the super Christians. And
Oh,
I hope y'all
wow.
watching out there because your
Wow.
boy was about to get body slammed. And this isn't even a piece of
Oh,
really what I really brought for him. I'm only just
oh.
showing a little bit of the framework because I still want to be able to have this debate with somebody. So I'm not going to give a bunch of sources and show what I really, but I am
It's
going to show the argument and
Subscribe
this doesn't
now.
add up. You feel me?
one
Yeah,
thing, and he still didn't show up.
still didn't show. He's not supposed to. I wouldn't have if I was him either. And again, I tell people I came to these conclusions not because I like banging on Christianity or Christians or I heard a guy on your other show asking why are people still having this debate. It's because we're actually going and looking at the evidence that they have and realizing like, wow, there is none. I'm a preacher's son, and as a Christian, I was challenged. Hey, prove to me Jesus existed. I'm like, okay, this should be easy. You feel me? And then when I started to go look for evidence, I'm like, what? Like, hold on, nope, this doesn't work. Like, I'm like, damn, there's nothing. I had to come back, like, yo, like, this shit's bullshit. I couldn't find nothing. I'm like, but it's all supposed to be off belief anyway, so they never really needed any. So
Mm,
come up here to try to defend, this whole religion and it's all off belief. Now, I had slides in the beginning to come up and make him define what type of Jesus or which Jesus he was defending. Because the original title I put on the flyer was the Christian Jesus a real person. I was going to make him define this guy who did the miracles. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who he believes in. It's like, why would you try to come prove a historical Jesus absent of these miracles if that's not even who you believe in? It's like you were going to reduce this guy. You're going to reduce him down to being a myth just like I am. So
let's walk that out. Let's walk that out. So you are distinguishing, for the record, you are distinguishing the historical, quote unquote, historical Jesus from the biblical Jesus. In essence, you are saying that the biblical Jesus is the equivalent of what the deified Caesar was under Caesar Augustus. The deified, the Caesar who became a god, was to the historical Caesar. Is that a good analogy or no?
I thought that's what he was going to come and try to say, that this guy was just some popular guy, and then all these myths came out about him. But that's not really what he believes, though. And I know that. I know that he believes in a guy that walked on water. You see what I'm saying? And rode the donkey that talked and all of that. So I honestly felt it would be
Jesus rode a donkey that talked?
He walked on water, fed the people with the fish and all that, man. That's what
man. I was about to say, wait a minute.
So I'm thinking of the picture that I saw of Jesus on this donkey, and it looked like it was talking. I just put it, but like, you believe in all of this. This is what you should be proving, because when we had a chit chat that day on your show, he said he believes in all of that, and he was upset that we were giving him a hard time. That these things just may be facetious. So yeah, I was going to make him make that distinction. I was just going to put pressure on him. It's nothing that was going to win the debate. I was just going to make the point that he was probably going to, like, I was going to show that he's showing up and dwindling this guy Jesus down to a myth just like me. We're not that different. If he decided to show up and pull that, which is the position I know that Garfield takes, is that the historical Jesus, that he believes in a guy just not a miracle worker,
Gotcha.
If that makes any sense. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. So I'm gonna let you proceed. Let me go back on the
bear. I was gonna poke the bear and see how he reacted, because it may have opened up some things that I could have used to get to my advantage or against him.
Okay.
But
I was gonna say
he didn't show, so
I was gonna say, I don't know if you want to bark up that tree. That tree might fall on you, but
he didn't show, so the world would never know.
Yeah. Nah, matter of fact, he said he was never coming back. So I don't know what you did to run my man's off, but hey, bruh.
Can we show some of these comments? Oh, I can show the comments, huh? I didn't know that. Okay, we got my man's right here. Jesus Christ never historically existed.
Brother Metu Jallo in the Saber. Comedic Saber Metu Jallo in the house.
Yeah, hold on. You know what? Let me go through some of these comments real quick while I got this up. Let's see who we got in here, what they saying. And we can shout some of these people out. We got Chef Darius. So he quit the debate, huh? You know it, man. That's crazy. We'll shout out Chef Darius in the building, the Nerdy Brew. Okay, we got the Nerdy Brew in here. The whole effing show. Unicorns do exist. Okay. From hey, that's what he was about to show up and try to prove today. And he was going to try to shift the burden of proof on me, because I was saying, we can't take that out of the myth category yet. Unicorn is in the Bible, so it's absolute truth. I see why he didn't want the Craigs in here. Right? That's why he didn't want to. That's why he's trying to cancel the debate the first time. Trying to say anything with them, I don't want anything to do with them. I'm like, I'm reading and studying every day and going to work, and I look up and he's upset of trying to cancel the debate for every little thing. I'm like, man. Why don't you just go read, bro, and stop getting online, and you won't stop being mad. guy's crazy. Okay, let's go through some of these. We got Saran, a lot of rhinos is not okay. I'm not about to go through every one of these, but shout out you. Let me shout out the different people who are in here. Okay, I see little Lucifer in here. I've said it.
Shout out to the brother. Hey, look, Lucifer, if you're still here, I got a challenge for you. I want to openly challenge my brother Mudawa. I'm saying atheism is a religion, can be a religion. I want to see if my brother Mudawa want to have that discussion. I'm also proposing a discussion on what we talked about Arius at the Nicene Council. Let's have that discussion because I think you're dead wrong. I think you don't know that history, and I think you need to stop talking about that.
That's little Lucifer.
If you're standing on what you told me the last time about Arian, and I know you're a brilliant brother, so maybe you did some subsequent research and you changed your mind. But if you didn't, it's all bad. So let's have that. Let's have those dialogues. Can atheism be a religion? And what was Arius's claim at the Nicene Council? Shout out to Little Lucifer.
Little Lucifer, that's Mudawa?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mudawa funny, man, because I was watching the show back from the other day, and Leandre was like, tertiary sources, they don't know what that is. He was like, I know what that is.
I know what that is.
Oh, that shit had me rolling. I'm like, man, I fuck with Mudawa, man. I always been a fan of Mudawa. I want to interview him coming up soon for my channel.
Oh man, you got to do it, man, because hey, he go back into the movement like it's like he got real history. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of
talk
people,
to him about like his all that.
He been knowing certain individuals in the community since he was a kid. Like, like he really got, yeah, man, definitely get that interview. Because I just talking to him, you're gonna get a wealth of knowledge just from the regular conversation. So definitely talk to that bro.
And to tap back on what y'all were actually talking about for a second on the show that you had tapped out of that day, he was, when you were talking about atheism being a religion, like I was thinking of my story because you were asking everybody when was the first time they came into contact with the idea of Jesus not being a real person. Was that your question?
Nah, I was saying just the concept of atheism or somebody not believing in a God or whatever. And
I wanted to add my comment. I wish I was on there that day because I wanted to add my story because I'm a preacher's son, right? So as a little kid, I used to think about people who were in different countries that were born in different religions, like imam's son. You know what I'm saying? Like, what about a Muslim?
That was right. Son? Yeah, that's one of my things right now. Like,
so that used to mess with me.
Muslim, or Buddhist or whatever.
And like, in the Bible, it says if you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you can't get into heaven. So I used to be like, they're going to hell. I'm like, it's not his fault. He was born into that family. And then I used to think, like, hold up, what if they're right and I'm wrong and I'm born into the wrong religion? So I used to have this back and forth as a little, like 6 years old. Like, I need to start studying this because if my soul is on the line, I got to take it serious.
How could you expect them to switch up? Like, if that's what they was right,
how would you? Yeah. So
that's. But I don't want to. Let's make sure we get back to your presentation.
Okay. Yeah. Let's stay focused right here.
Yeah. I get off on a tangent.
I did want to add that comment. I wish I was on that show though, because Mudawa was going in. We got did I get everybody? We got. You can say that word.
Yeah, we see it.
I can't say the name. You know that name?
Which No, that's my brother, Mashallah from
Mashallah,
UPK.
UPK
Yeah,
building.
yeah, that's a powerful brother. Powerful brother. I gotta get him up here for an interview. We were supposed to do that. Look, he say stay focused.
I had to show
You
that,
know
man.
what I mean? Hey, powerful and direct. I got to get him up here for an interview. I was supposed to been did it, but getting sidetracked and busy. But yeah, you should
Okay.
try to link up with him for an interview too.
I'm definitely gonna have to check him out. I'm not hip to him yet. I'm gonna have to look into subscribe to my page and comment on something. It's Astral Projections 369. I don't know. Maybe I should put it in the chat. I'll get it
Yeah,
there in a
yeah. No,
second though.
I'll link y'all up. Let's get back to the presentation so we can.
Okay, the historical method right here. The historian. Again, I was reading this before. I was reading the breakdown of the historical method. Now, this is the chart, and I threw some things on here. The historian selects a subject for investigation. So, Jesus existed would be the subject that we're looking into. This is the claim made by yours truly, the Slim Reaper. Didn't show up to defend it, though. Physical remains, we have none. We don't have a tomb. We ain't got a mummy. Not that you would expect a mummy. You know what I'm saying? That's was more an Egyptian custom, and Jewish people didn't necessarily didn't bury their dead. They didn't mummify people who would have been crucified anyway. So
Yeah, they have
yeah, it's not
what
like
was
you
it,
would expect that.
bone boxes.
I always thought that was a weak argument. Like we got mummies that are people, but we ain't got no. Like, well, you won't really find a mummy of Jesus. Like that's an Egyptian custom. So, but yeah, but we still don't have any physical remains. Again, the Shroud of Turin that dates to like um 12th, 13th century, I believe, and so that couldn't be Jesus's.
Physical remains for who?
For Jesus. Physical remains of anything. We don't
But
have.
if he resurrected, would you have physical remains? Let me stop. Go ahead with your
Okay,
piece.
okay.
Let
When
me
I
go.
say physical remains, though, I mean of anything. I mean the cross that he was crucified on. We don't have.
Ignore me, man. Ignore me. Let me
We
go on
we
mute.
ain't got
Go ahead, finish up.
we ain't got a sandal. We ain't got nothing. You feel me? We ain't got nothing. Uh, I like that though. I like we gonna start calling you Mr. Logic around here because it seems like you the one with all the common sense. I ain't gonna cap to you. Okay, but we don't have any physical. Can you name any physical remains from Jesus's time here?
No, I wouldn't. That I know of, it don't exist in terms of like stuff he wore or anything like that. But I don't think you need any.
Well, I'm explaining how the historical method works, and this is the evidence that you would look to gather to prove that someone existed historically. Next, you would gather any oral reports, which for the primary sources there would be none. Again, we only have secondary sources, and we're going to get into the Gospels. We're going to get into what Gospels we have, and when they're dated to. So we're going to see that those don't match the timeline for being primary sources, and I'm going to show you why. Visual documentation. Again, we don't have any visual documentation. Written documents. We don't have a Roman record of a crucifixion. We don't, these are things that you would look for to help corroborate this story. Extra biblical sources. Because again, the Bible can't be trusted as a source because it's 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 heavily corrupted, um, with all the theological principles and all that BS, man. So where am I at? Yeah, so the whole top, bro, we have nothing. Okay. Um, so that would only lead me to that's what led me to conclude as a preacher's son, like, hold up, I can't come back to my man's with nothing but more circular reasoning. When am I supposed to read him a chapter out the Bible? Like to try to tell him Jesus existed? Like that's not going to work. You feel me? That's not what he asked me for. So this made my you know, made my search hard. And again, I'm gonna show you what they do have. First, I'm showing you what they don't have. Then I'm gonna show you what they do have. You
So
know,
so you say they don't have written documents?
um, what would you consider? I'm considering written documents. You see it right here, primary sources. This is strictly for primaries. We don't have any primary eyewitness accounts. That would be a primary. I probably have a slide on this. They do have. I mean, we have like Josephus, but that's not an eyewitness account. That's not a primary source. You see what I'm saying? We can't use that to corroborate. We can't use a guy who was born after a guy died to corroborate his existence. That's not a primary source. He's not an eyewitness. It's some secondary. Again, I say that all he was going to show up with was secondary sources and apologist propaganda.
So if I'm a historian
Mhm.
who would clearly, I'm born in 1976, so I would clearly be born after Abraham Lincoln, who died in 1865. But as a historian, are you saying that I couldn't corroborate and then publish work of my evidence and proof that Abraham Lincoln existed?
And I'm glad that you asked that question because it's examples like these that show the disingenuousness of, you know, academics and history today because of the Christian apologist stronghold that they have. Um, when you say Abraham Lincoln, we have things that he signed in his own handwriting. We have people writing about meetings with him. We have actual primary sources for his existence. We have things that he owned. I think we have pictures of him actually. So that's different. That would go under physical. We have oral reports. We have visual documentation. The visual would be the pictures. We have written records.
So let,
Physical
let,
remains. We could say a treaty that he signed or something like that. We have
let's
things
switch
that he
off.
wrote down. We don't have anything Jesus wrote down himself.
Let's switch off Abraham Lincoln and say Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great. You're right. History is shaky and thin, and I was expecting him to come and make that argument, but I was going to say, you know, because he made it when we were having a back and forth when we were dialoguing. He was saying, well, this is the same evidence that scholars accept for these characters. Okay, well, thank you for telling us that half of history.
Socrates?
I was going to say, well, thank you for telling us half of history may be fake, but that still doesn't substantiate your claim.
Do you consider Socrates a historical person?
It's nobody's trying to garner my soul and claims that he exists. No, hold on. This is my answer though.
I'm just asking.
It's inconsequential. It's inconsequential to me because nobody's trying to garner my soul with claims that he exists.
No, I'm not asking if it mattered to you. I'm just asking, do you consider him a historical person?
I haven't looked him up and put this method to him to say that. So that's what I would have to do. You see what I'm saying? It's not somebody
off the top of your head, if your life depended on it and you had to take a guess, what do you think you would guess?
I think we have heads of him that look like him. Which again, that means that somebody had probably sat down and drew that.
They got pictures and stuff like that of Jesus, so that would
they got pictures of Jesus. I don't know about that.
That wouldn't matter to you. So in terms,
but again, I hate guessing.
How he looked. But
you're asking me a guess. You're asking me to guess, and I just hate guessing. I would rather I either know or I don't know. I don't want to guess. I want to apply the methodology and see if it stands up.
I like that answer. So your answer is you don't know.
Then my answer is I don't know, and the guess would be. I mean, to me, the guessing is just
if you don't want
it's irresponsible. It's just irresponsible of me to be running around guessing. It's not something I do. So you see, when you ask me, it already makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I don't like guessing. We figure it out. You know, I don't sit here. I never sit and pretend to know something I don't know.
This This is my
I'll
last
think
one.
go ahead. I'm listening.
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar. We have his head on. We have coins of this guy. Um,
We
we
got coins of
have
Alexander too.
Okay, well then that definitely helps. We have coins of these people. We have cities that these people were things that happened in history that couldn't have happened unless these guys actually existed. Do you see what I'm saying? These guys actually shaped history, the landscape of things in their region. That's so we have sources, we have written accounts of them from their enemies, which we do as well for Jesus. I mean, and I'm not trying to help him today either, but I'm just an honest guy. We
I,
do
I was
have some. We
I was
do
about
have
to ask
some.
one last question before I let you finish because
Go ahead.
you said they shaped history. What period of history did they exist? Meaning Alexander and Julius Caesar.
You asking me to lead a see
No. I'm just asking what period of history they existed in.
Alexander is Hellen. Wasn't he the Hellenization period?
Yeah.
Okay, Alexander was the Hellenization of period. Caesar was the second person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me to I don't want to misquote or guess. I don't know accurately off the top.
So
Again, that's not what I've been reading. I've been reading Tacitus, Josephus,
I
and
got you.
Justin the Martyr, and
well, they were in the BC era,
all the way
and
up
so,
until like what century? Third century.
oh,
What reign did they have, or did because some of their reigns lasted longer than their lifetimes? Obviously,
Julius Caesar really didn't get the reign because the Ides of March, obviously, and neither did Alexander. He died at 30, a little bit after 30, something like that, and that's why his kingdom was broken. His empire was broken up by his generals. Ptolemy getting Egypt, but them being in the BC era, that would make Tacitus and Josephus and all of them in the
oh yeah,
AD era. Would you agree? And so,
Tacitus and Josephus are definitely AD. They're the
so
closest.
Caesar and Alexander BC, Tacitus, Josephus AD. It seemed like it ain't nobody that shaped history more than this individual called Jesus, because we literally saying before Christ and after Christ. And that's hyperbole, but you get what I'm saying. So
I like the point you're making. You make a good point. I mean,
I'm
it's a good point because it's a point I make all the time that it definitely, and we have the Romans to thank for that. They saw, they capitalized on, a synchronistic cult that was going on and running around, and figured out a way to capitalize on it to control the people, the resources, in the minds of the people. So for them, it was more political to push this, and that's something I could break down, in another podcast. Put some slides together on that with the sources and stuff. But yeah, Josephus will be the closest. You know what I'm saying? I got the complete works right here. And we got Tacitus, the Annals and the Histories of Tacitus. That would be the second closest. Tacitus is the second century. Even Josephus, he's born a lifetime after Jesus' supposed death. So he can't be a source to corroborate his life. He doesn't document any witnesses. I was prepared for him to, if he brought that up. I didn't. That's not on this slide because again, I removed all those slides. But again, I had rebuttals for different scenarios because I didn't know, as a debater, which way he was going to go.
yeah, because this stuff I'm coming up with, that's like the tip of the iceberg of what he was going to be saying. So
yeah, I mean,
that's why I'm just trying to throw at you like little stuff that I think he might But
and as a matter of fact, hold on. Yeah, Josephus. Okay. The first passage by Josephus is considered by the majority of conventional scholars to be a forgery. Some say it's partially forged, but what does partially forged even mean? Do you see what I'm saying? These are nice terms that apologists are coming up with to keep sliding fake stuff through, and it's It's disingenuous. It's messed up, and this is what sane people have to fight through every day to make sense of this shit. Excuse my language. Let me keep it moving. Some say partially forged. Okay, but one, its placement in the text doesn't make
Are
sense.
you moving the slide? Are you changing slides?
I'm hold on. I can show this slide. I am reading something different. It was some notes I had on Josephus
Okay.
from
I was just
another
making
slide
sure
though.
because I was about to say it ain't changing. But if
No,
you're not,
but
don't worry about
this is just some information about Josephus.
it.
You
Okay.
know, some say that his stuff is partially forged. But one, his placement in the text doesn't make sense because it interrupts a thought to talk about Jesus. And two, what is why partially forged something and not completely? They know it's forged because of the way it's written. Josephus, a lifelong Jew, would not have referenced Jesus as the Messiah. That's out of context from his perspective. He would have called him Yahweh or something of the such. Um, so you know, these are just reasons why scholars have dismissed Josephus in certain passages. He has two passages actually about Jesus. He has another one where they talk about his brother James. You know, and there's a bunch of different stuff about that too. You know, the cult called themselves, everybody who was in the cult, the brother of Jesus. So it, it just gets tricky when we're trying to understand history and use these things as evidence. And again, Josephus doesn't document any eyewitnesses. Um, and the first time we hear Josephus cited as a source for historicity is from a known forger, Eusebius. So it's funny that we have this guy bringing Josephus to try um, to use as to verify historicity. And again, Josephus talks about 25 or 26 different Jesuses in his works. A lot of nobody ever talks about that. When he talks, and in these passages, he never even calls him Jesus, which in the Greek is iosis. If you're when he references to other people, I'm going to get to that. I have some slides on that I'm going to show, but you know, he's using the term Christus or Christos, and he misspells it. It just gets it's real weird. So again, that's why I was going to ask Leandre if he did show up. Who are you trying to prove? With you know, you have to tell me exactly who you're trying to prove existed because based on your sources, I have certain questions. Christus is a title; it's not even a name. You know, this isn't first name, last name. What song was that? First name, last name. It was some rap song. They use Christ. They put Christ after Jesus like it's his last name. Like this isn't his last name. Jesus Christ. First it was Jesus the Christ, then they took the out and became Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
Um, Christ is a title, you know, and that even is more syncretism because that comes from Kemet as well, you know, the crest. And I can just I don't have it on this presentation. I had it in my I took it out, but you know, I'll show the hieroglyphic for that and how we already had that, the anointed one. Um, I said how we already had that, how it was already done in the region, and not to say it was plagiarized or anything, because I use the term syncretism because I just think it's an amalgamation of different concepts from the region, you know, coming together and producing a new product, which we see all over the place. Even if we just look at the Abrahamic religions, you can see syncretism. You know, there was supposed to be a debate against nobody and whom next week. DMG.
Say that one more time.
There's supposed to be a debate between nobody and whom next week.
The brother Lord Benu.
Lord
Uh,
Badu. Now I don't
yeah,
know whose side is on who right now, so don't even tell me. But I'm just saying, even in that, I know the title was "Did Christianity come from another religion?"
older religions.
Older religions. I mean, if we study syncretism, right there, it's an amalgamation of Jewish principles. Jesus is a Jew. You even when you pick up the New Testament, you have the Old Testament in there. So it's like, wait, like this, the genealogy. I shouldn't be helping anybody with their debate, but it's syncretism is how this came about, and even Islam, you know, piggybacks off of Christianity, and then we have an have a new creation off of an amalgamation of older religions that are in the area. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying Jesus, if Jesus existed, he existed in the minds of the people. We don't have any physical remains. You know what I'm saying? We can't actually prove this guy existed. We don't have any written reports. We don't have any eyewitness accounts. Let me move off of this slide though, because I feel like I've been on this one for a minute. Okay, yeah, the past evidence. The unique events of the past are unrepeatable and accessible to the historian only through surviving historical sources. What website was this? I got this off of. This was Canadian Historical Method that I got this off of. The past, the evidence. The unique events of the past are unrepeatable and accessible to the historian only through surviving historical sources, physical remains, verbal reports, pictorial records, or written documents, the raw materials of history. History comes from the evidence supplied by the critical analysis and evaluation of these documents. An historian sees not the event, but the remains of the event. Okay? So DMG again, what evidence do you think that you see for a historical Jesus?
Whatever. I mean, I can't see any evidence because I'm not privy to any visible evidence. That's not.
Okay,
I don't know if anything visible outside of what can be in outside of documents can be read or accessed. But in terms of documents, there are a plethora of documents that can be read and that are visible that can be given as evidence to a historical Jesus.
Okay, so there's no evidence we can see. You said we have documents. What documents?
Well,
Outside of the Gospels, or
do you see we see the words on the document, right? We read it. That's still sin, right?
no? I was asking for like specific stuff. I was just asking because I always ask people, what specific evidence do you think?
Oh, you mean like physical evidence?
Physical, or somebody writing something down that's an eyewitness account? Anything that meets the criteria that's listed right here, like
in the documents, right?
Because it says a historian sees not the event, but the remains of the event. So we can't see what happened. All we can see is the remains of what happened to try to write history. And again, I don't think we have enough to say to move this guy out of the myth category. Courtney says, what's the difference between his argument and Carrier, where Carrier argues for Jesus probably as a celestial being in total? I'm not sure if he's asking that of me. I'm not arguing for Jesus being a celestial anything.
AOne, don't bark up that tree, man.
No, I'm just.
Hey, that Courtney Thompson tree will fall on you. I'm pretty sure about that. I don't know if you want to bark up this tree, man. Like
I'm gonna have to check him out. I'm not hip to him. Thanks for tuning in, Courtney.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to hit the link. He probably at work though.
I think he did say he was at work. I saw that above. He said he's at work. He can't engage, but he's watching.
He said
he's asking me. Okay, he said, "What's the difference?" I'm not saying that Jesus. Where did this comment go that I had? I'm not saying Jesus was a celestial being. I just think he was a myth. I think he was a myth. I think he's a, syncretism is my best answer for how we have this story of Jesus today. You know what I'm saying?
So what so what he asks, and so in Richard Carrier's work, Richard Carrier is saying that like for example, Paul never according to Richard Carrier, Paul never viewed Jesus as a earthly man, but just as a celestial being. And that he was made into an earthly man later. And so I think what Courtney asking you is, what's the difference between your argument and carriers in terms, not that you think he's a celestial being, but that you feel, whatever your perspective is on how you think this current this uh Jesus lines up, whether it's as a in the context of the text. Do you feel like so the people who writing about him, do you feel they believed he was uh, a historical being, a god, like the people who actually wrote the Gospels and the Paul's letters, etc.
I feel like these people, I'm the people who wrote the letters anonymously. I don't know what their intent was because one, they're anonymous, so that's to me that's just dishonest right there, and that creates s- um that right there is suspicious. These works to be coming out anonymously when they did, the big gap from Jesus's death and the time that these stories were supposed to have happened to the actual fragments that we have, which I'm about to get into. But since you brought up Paul, I was going to show this. Where 1:1 it says, "I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that the gospel I preached is not of human origin. I did not receive it from any man, nor was I taught it. Rather, I received it by revelation from Jesus Christ." So he did see Jesus. He came to him in revelation form. Like it wasn't. He never met the man. You know what I'm saying? That's what this alludes to. So Paul's writings, they date to around, at best, this is me being nice, 50 to 58 CE. So that's still what, 20 years after Jesus was supposed to have lived. I think that's the best evidence for him, but again, he's not saying that he met this guy, and he's not even saying he was real. He doesn't talk about any of the stuff that the gospels talk about. He talks about a whole different, like, it's they don't match up. um I skipped a bunch of slides to get here. I'm not sure if that answers your question. I don't think Jesus was a celestial being. I think he's a product of syncretism, of myths evolving. um and I'm going to get into specifically what syncretism is in a second. I skipped a bunch of stuff. Okay, for the past evidence, a historian sees not the event, but the remains of the event, cannot recreate the event, draw subjective conclusions. So, physical remains, verbal reports, um, visual documents, written documents. Visual, verbal reports is legends, ballads, interviews, speeches, recordings. Written documents, diaries, memoirs, autobiographies, letters, maybe that person wrote themselves, diplomatic dispatches, pamphlets, newspapers, government reports, census records. Okay, the historian. The historian always views and interprets the past from the standpoint of the present, just as the point of view of the creator of a primary or secondary source influences the individual's record of an account. I mean, of an event. And I think that this is what's going on in history today. It is eisegesis at its finest. You know what I'm saying? On the highest level. That's the funny thing. Uh, the historian's personality shapes his or her selection of topics, analysis, and the evaluation of the evidence. In a lot of cases, not all the time. Sometimes people, like, I feel like I was a Christian when I came across this evidence applied to historical method and said we don't have enough evidence. So I didn't let my Christian bias tell me yes. I feel like people who are doing that, that's what's going on. I feel like they're can't be honest with themselves, and this is maybe an eternal battle that they have to deal with. Um, I digress, though. Let's keep it moving. Historians should be aware of how the following factors influence the way one makes sense of the past. Okay, so let's get into this. This is a list of historians who could have and should have mentioned Jesus, but don't. Okay, there were a lot of people documenting things at that time. We have to remember that where Jesus was supposed to be at isn't a big region. The population wasn't what it is today. Word travels a lot faster than you think. These miracles would have made it into the historical record. it's funny, Jesus is supposed to have walked on water, fed the fish. This guy did everything except make a dent in the historical record. And I find that to be ironic, that if God wanted to come down here and transmit his message, that this is the worst possible way to do it. You know what I'm saying? This is the worst possible way to do it. And again, us having a lack of evidence of this guy or any documentation, proves that this is the worst possible way to do it. This isn't how I would do it if I was, again, also ask. Courtney's over here asking questions. I'm trying to get his questions in. 999 of scholarship teaches that Jesus was a real person. This is sick. He funny. You got to go to the comments sometimes, man, because the comments be lit.
Hey, man.
Hey, this is funny.
This is sick.
It is sick. So, trust and believe the gospel. Is he a believer? He's an atheist? What's your position? What's your stand?
No. You know what his position is. He trusts and believe the gospel.
Oh, okay. It sounded like he was coming against the gospel, though. That was funny.
No, he said no. He was saying that this presentation is sick. That's what he was saying. Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be one of the first people up here when we open it up.
Okay. Come on, let's go. Okay.
That is hilarious, boy. When people say this is sick, that is hilarious.
Okay, background knowledge, life experiences, personal values and beliefs. And this is what was on the other side of this chart down here. Background values, background knowledge, values, beliefs, biases, prejudices, interpretations of history. Reading, education, and historical context influences a historian's judgment about the past. And I was just going to go into his various biases, and I was going to break that down on the Q&A. I was going to ask him some questions like, do you believe in Muhammad? Things like that.
Now, what's the relevance of asking, do we believe in Muhammad?
Well, if the answer is no, I would ask why the double standard. Because I think there's more evidence for Muhammad than Jesus. But a lot of Christians don't want to say that because they feel as if they're promoting another religion and another.
So it's Christians that actually say Muhammad isn't a historical person.
A lot of them. I hear that all the time. I'm not sure how Leandre feels.
Wow.
But again, I was surprised to hear him talk about the talking snake and argue for a talking snake and try to defend it. He was like, "Well, can you prove that there isn't one?" I'm like, "Why you keep shifting the burden of proof, bruh? That's burden of proof fallacy. Stop doing that. Like, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Like, you think these things exist? I can't prove that there's no invisible aliens behind you because I can't see them. But when you find some evidence of them, let me know, and then I'll take you serious. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so now look. Now I know you may be having this conversation with somebody else. Are you ready to pack this up and drop the link, or you want to keep going?
Let me just skim through this real quick.
Because I don't think you should show too much if you're gonna have this conversation with somebody else. You might move it around a little bit, but you don't want to waste these slides.
Again, I don't go into nothing about Josephus Tacitus. Here, let me just skim through the rest of these.
I don't know, man.
I'm not gonna stick.
The way nobody cares from trust and believe the gospel, and they're going, y'all might.
They sound like they still want to have this debate. Then, okay, you know what? I'd rather still set up this debate with somebody else. I don't think the topic is dead. So. What I want to do is leave it
because he say this is sick.
Yeah, he might be. We might have to pop him in on this flyer and get a date rolling, and let the people decide. That's what I want to do. My whole thing was I wanted to come up here, win, lose, or draw, put it all out there. I'm not. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared to put myself out there and my ideas and what I'm learning. And if I stand corrected, then that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people,
What
I
what
don't
if what
know.
if the dude what if your opponent though? What if your opponent just not as qualified as you are to talk about like this kind of stuff though?
At the end of the day, it's I told you before, I wear two hats. So because I'm so used to promoting things on a major level, I'm not thinking about that. Because to me, it's what motivates me. My motivation is to come out here, one, and put the information out. Also, get information from people because where's my book right at? You know, and it teaches it to Patai, it teaches you to spar with the fool the same way you would with the wise. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? To be humble and to treat everybody the same and to try to, and and that way you keep a balance. You know what I'm saying too.
that man
So
got
my
the
thing is
Mac
to
of
say,
Patah Hotel
yeah, the
just
teachers at
sitting on his
Patahotep.
bookshelf, just sitting there. Just okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so this teaches, that's one of my favorite teachings out of this book. It was like, man, learn from the fool the same way you learn from the wise, and discourse with them on the same level. You don't have to be demeaning to people and all of that. And if I know more than them, then I can teach them. And if they know more than me, then I'm gonna get my lesson that day. And that's just how it is. But still sharp and still, I'm gonna come back better. It's not about me being right all the time, but as a community, it should be about us getting it right. you know and
Hey,
a lot of people aren't trying to do that. They're trying to come up here and they want to be right. So when I double back on somebody and said, you know what, you brought up some things and some perspectives I had never heard before, and I went and investigated a little further, and I like what you were saying, that Slim Reaper shouldn't use that to try to slam me. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what this is supposed to be about. So that's why I was like, I'm not gonna stoop to their level, and I'm not about to do no videos about them. Like, it's a waste of time because I see where their level of maturity is about this. All them PhDs didn't get you any maturity. You went to school all that time and you sat in all them classrooms, but
hey,
you
so
know,
so so the brother not here to fire back, so we ain't gonna go
okay,
too
yeah,
far. But
but
let me I gotta step away.
oh, what time is it? It's 9 o'clock where I'm at. You said you got to step away for a little bit. I was gonna get into what syncretism was because I was going to bring some supporting evidence to support my idea that Jesus was a myth.
Do you
Um,
thing, and then like I say, we're gonna try to get to the chat, see who got some questions for you when once the
Ancient non-Christian sources on Jesus. Not none of these men who wrote about Jesus was alive when he was alive. From Tacitus, Thales, Josephus, Celsus, Suetonius, Pliny the Younger. Um, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna go through too much. Let me save some of the sauce. I'm gonna save some of the sauce, man. Let me go back to the beginning. So, as we see, this guy didn't show up, and I didn't have to embarrass him. So, with that being said, this is. Let me go through some of these comments. I was gonna say this is paradigm shift. Nobody cares. Don't know ish about historical Jesus. He just knows magical Jesus. Trust and believe the gospel. Throwing up over there. I respect it. Maybe we can sit down and have a dialogue, and I can learn some things from you sometime. Extraordinary reclaims that requires extraordinary evidence. Says no scholar ever. He definitely misspelled or misquoted that. One of the two. Ask him to show proof that there are Christians who don't believe Muhammad existed. Okay. I don't know. People always ask me for proof of simple stuff. You don't think there are any? None? We got Ratchet Craig in the building.
What it is, bro.
What
Is
it
that back
is.
on? You can hear me clear, brother?
We can hear you loud and clear, baby.
Hey, man, we got to keep the show. DG had to step away, so I just came in for a second, man. We got to. I don't want you talking to yourself up here, man.
I'm going through these
Uh,
comments, letting these people get some shine, man. Courtney
yeah,
right here.
yeah,
Courtney says, me and A1 got to talk Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern.
yeah.
3 10.
You get him,
I hollered
Courtney.
at you there, my guy. Salute, Courtney, man. Thank you for sitting down and having a conversation with me, man. You know,
Get him, Courtney. You know, I know him for the Dagger Squad, man. That might be, hey, he for real. He
Courtney
gonna
said
hit
he
you with
gonna
the,
put me
he gonna
in
hit you with that
his
work. He gonna hit you with that work, bro. He gonna show you the literature. He gonna show you his literature, nigga. He gonna show you before he kill you, A1.
wing. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking
Yeah, yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah, he gonna show you before he kill you. That I respect Courtney Thomas, man. Yeah. Thompson. Yeah, man. He's good. He's a good guy. He's a good
That's
guy.
what's up, man. Shout out Courtney in the building, man. I'm definitely, yeah, definitely. If you message me, we could definitely set that up, and I'll make sure. Oh, I like
Yeah,
getting a
we
little
have a waiting,
overtime. If you said 4
man.
p.m. Eastern, if that's the best you can do, but if we could move it to maybe like 6:30, because I'll be trying to stay to work till 5. But I will get off early if that's the only time that you can do, just for that conversation. I'll make up them hours on the weekend or
Yeah,
something.
he honorable, bro. He an honorable fellow, man. I always love me so. He a Calvinist. He's a
Mhm.
Calvinist Christian, but I love me some Courtney Thompson, man. Scholarship on
And I,
historical Jesus.
I do what he does. I'll be at work listening with the ear pods in for hours, just watching the different podcasts
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, what is this dude
Yeah,
talking about? I've
we
never
try to
heard
have
of
these
that.
yeah, we try to have these conversations, man. It's supposed to be like we're supposed to engage in these conversations. We don't supposed to be uppity and looking down on each other toward these conversations, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
man.
on YouTube. This ain't an academia class. This is not an academia classroom, man. Come on, y'all need to chill with it, bro.
Oh yeah, I kept
Y'all,
it simple, man. I
y'all,
pulled out
y'all
a lot.
funny.
Again, once he pulled out of the debate, I didn't even go hard in putting this together. I just had some stuff.
Y'all,
I really wanted him to
y'all,
show up, but I'm
y'all
listening.
wild. Y'all wild, man. What it do, panel? What it do, everybody?
Oh snap!
Classic in the building. Classic
So,
Craig, y'all.
I'm going
let
on
me
mute. I'm going on mute. I'm let Classy have it for a second.
this for a second, man. I'm in rainy Oklahoma where it's cold and the buffaloes roam. So, what it do? What it do, everybody? Mr. Courtney, you supposed to talk with me first. I got you. I just got done with another meeting, so you next, brother. So we'll sit down, we'll break bed, we'll do what we need to do, man, and you'll have that dialogue. And I got some other things for you, man. I just had to let you know, man. The family of paradigm shift is getting bigger. We're going brighter. We're going harder. Power about a whole effing show. Um, I'm just saying, man. We're doing everything pretty big, man. I ain't gonna lie though. One thing about it though, I really did wish this debate would have went through. Um, I really hate how small little minute things come in the way of something big and major. Because it didn't have to turn out like this, but it did. You know what I mean? It just, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, when you assume and you think people are plotting against you, really at the end of the day, they're not. Just ask. Just ask, talk with them, be a brother, be a sister, and it'll probably help the suspicion and the rumors die down so there is no reason to have an issue with a person. So that's all I
Hey,
had to say, man.
hey, Craig, in the
Yeah.
comment section today, A1 got accused of being a disingenuous person, bro.
What was the comment?
They say you disingenuous on historical Jesus. It's by the guy that won't pop up. By the guy that won't pop up tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Who? Oh, that's
He
who
won't
doing it.
pop up. Yeah, he
All
said
right.
you disingenuous on your information. I say he genuine. He actually like studied this and I believe in
Man, come on,
historical
man.
Jesus, right? You know, I believe in the historical Jesus, man, just based off the historical method, right? But at the same time, that's based off of consensus. It's literature's consensus, right? It could be overturned at any time. Like it's very fragile. What they stand on historical Jesus, man. It's very fragile. I don't think it's like steady. It's not like physics and biology consensus.
See, that's why I
Yeah.
wanted him to show up because, like you said, it could be overturned at any time, and he
That's a
actually
lie, bro.
reads. He again, you said he may have underestimated me. These books ain't cheap. You know, I take my study serious.
If I could say, one thing, bro.
Check it out. I had a
Shout out
talk with
nobody in
That's a
the
lie.
building. How you doing?
Nobody in the building.
What's
Hey,
up with
bro.
it, bro? What's up, everybody? What's good with everybody?
Nice to
I
finally
just
meet
want.
you. Nice to finally meet you.
Oh yeah, nice to meet you, bro. Nice to meet you, bro. I just want to say that's a lie. It's not very fragile at all. 99.9% of all scholars in the world agree that Jesus existed. That's not fragile at all.
99. Show me
99.9.
that source. Show me that source. Show me that source. I don't believe you. I think you made that number up.
Google it, bro.
I think you show me
No.
that source. Be a man and show me that.
Google it.
You
Google
made
it,
that claim. Show me that one, and I will
bro.
bow
Listen to what
down. I will
bro.
bow down and say
No, you won't.
99.9. You
No,
was
you
right,
won't.
nobody.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Yes, I will. Show me the
No,
source.
you won't.
You
No,
see,
you won't, bro.
yeah, you made that up. That's why you can't
I
show me.
didn't make it up, bro.
Man,
Can you put my screen?
you never had those
I-
songs. You don't
I-
even know what the consensus is, bro.
I do know what hold on, what? Listen, bro. The
Bro,
consensus says
you
that.
said 99.9, nigga, like
Bro,
it's a
pause,
pregnancy test.
bro.
You
Pause,
better
bro.
say like it's a pregnancy test.
Bro, if you
You
don't just talk,
99.9%
Craig,
of
let him go,
the
Craig. Let him
if you
go,
don't
Craig.
just talk over me, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna let you go. I'm letting you go. Go
Let him
ahead,
go,
nobody.
Craig.
My fault.
The consensus says that virtually all scholars of iniquity accept that Jesus is a historical figure, bro. That's what the consensus said. Now, let's just say, I'm finna minimize it. Let's just say that there are 1,000 historians in the world today. Even though we know that there are more, let's just say that there are just 1,000. There are only 6 known historians today, including Richard Carrier, and we can take him out of it because he says that there's a 33.3% that Jesus did exist. So there are only 5 scholars in history, that study history, that disagrees that Jesus existed out of 1,000. That's less than 1%, bro. So when I said that 99, hold up, let me finish. So when I said that 99.9% of scholars today agree that Jesus did exist, and if you can share my screen real quick, I can show you where it says virtually all scholars
You said
of antiquity exist.
99.9, nigga.
No. Now, the
Nah,
specific
man,
number.
man, now you going there.
Listen
You
to me.
checking
No,
this thing.
listen to me. The
Where
number.
you sharing your screen?
I'm gonna share my screen right now. But I do want to agree with Craig. I do want to agree with Craig. It doesn't say 99.9.
Don't agree
That's
with
true.
Craig.
It don't say that. No, I'm just being honest though. It
I'll
don't
be
give
like
a number.
I'll be like DeAndre. You agree with me, bro? Be like
No,
DeAndre.
listen to
You
me.
agree with me? Like how
Bro,
you did AOne.
listen.
Do it.
Golly, bro. Golly, bro. I just said 99.9%. No, I can't show you an exact number. So that part I'm agreeing with you on. But I did say 99.9% because I know the other 5 scholars that are alive today who say that Jesus don't exist out of 1,000. And if we take 5 scholars out of 1,000, that's less than 1%, bro.
Can you name the 5 for me?
Well, we had 3 scholars on Paradise Shift.
I got more than 5 scholars on my bookshelf that don't believe in Jesus.
Come on, bro. None of us are scholars, including myself, bro. So no, we're not scholars.
We had 3 scholars on Paradise Shift.
James Valiant is a scholar.
Yeah.
And what does James Valiant say?
Come on, bro.
But James Valiant believe in a historical Jesus, though.
Come on, and I say, what does James Value say? Like, come on, stop playing. So I only brought up what I said because they said that. Hold up, they said that when it comes down to Jesus being a historical figure, it's fragile. What I'm saying is virtually all scholars. Now, I was being fair by saying 99.9. I could have said 100%, but I do know that there are five scholars who do disagree. But they are considered fringe writers, bro, by all of the peers in their era of study. So stop playing, bro. So no, it's not
Fringe?
factual.
Hey, pull up what fringe mean, bruh.
Of running this shit.
Like
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
we make like fringe is a bad thing in scholarship. Fringe is a genius, groundbreaking idea sometimes, and then it can go the other way, right? It's both of them. It's both of them involved. But bring up your screen. Bring up your screen. Let's see what you got to say.
I'll just pull that up real quick. What you want me to look up Fringe? I don't see nobody's screen
go
for
ahead,
me to pull up. Are you sharing your screen, nobody? I'm trying to get you right.
Yeah, you go ahead, AOne. Because it's your show.
Oh, I mean, I just happened to pull this up because I Googled it.
The definition
I
of
was trying
fringe,
to see if it was any percentages or anything on there. And this is when I typed in scholars don't believe Jesus existed.
Okay.
I was looking for a percentage or something like this just came up though, a growing number of scholars. I haven't read this to try to quote it as no source or nothing. I don't know what's going on. It was just the title that grabbed my attention. But did you want me to look something up, nobody? Since you can't share your screen and I'm looking something up?
Craig was just saying look up the word fringe. But hold up, bro. Since that's your first time,
you said you're gonna be polite because you said it's 100%. You went up to 100%. You went up to 100%.
Please pause, bro. Craig wanted to look up the word fringe, but
no,
bro, can you pause, please?
Let him go, Craig. Let him go, Craig.
Please, bro. I was finna pull up the word fringe, and we still can do that. But since that's your first time reading that article, and it's also my first time reading this article, can you kind of go through that article and give me the name of the people who don't agree with Jesus, and let's see if it's more than 5, like I said previously.
I like that idea. Christmas is a time of year where people are supposed to put aside their differences and come together to celebrate in peace, love, and understanding. Though few question the traditions of the season, many of them predate Christianity in Europe. A lot was borrowed from the Norse tradition of Yule, the celebration of the winter solstice, Hey, this is already probably gonna piss off a lot of people who are Christians because they're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, let me keep reading though. They really just trying to defend the tradition. We already can't trust this source. Throw it out. Get it out of here. Okay, I'm sorry. The Norse tradition, the celebration of the winter solstice. Others originate with the Roman festival of Saturnalia. Man, you know the Christians ain't rocking with this source.
Right. I just want to see the scholars that it lists. I want to see if it's more than 5.
Me too. We about to go through it. I'm just glad this is how I be reading it because I know they like.
Me too. I've never read that source before, and even though it does seem like a non-believing source, I'm not discrediting it. I'm just trying to see how many scholars do we list as if it's more than the 5 that I'm trying to tell y'all that it is. That's all. I ain't discrediting nothing yet.
Today, more and more historians and bloggers alike are questioning whether an actual man named Jesus existed. Unfortunately, many of the writings we do have are tainted, the authors being religious scholars or atheists with an axe to grind, which is something that I kind of learned with the exegesis and eisegesis and the whole homosexuality shit. It's the same thing. Like, that's one sentence right there. There's both sides kind of pre-imposing their ideas. But go ahead, let me finish reading. One important point is the lack of historical sources. In the Bible, whole chunks of his life are missing. Jesus goes from age 12 to 30 without any word of what happened in between. That's funny because I'll be saying that all the time. Okay. Historians have measures in terms of burden of proof. If an author, for instance, is writing about a subject more than 100 years after it occurred, And again, this is what I was saying. See, this is funny that they says this because this is my whole thing is all this stuff. I didn't even get into the whole timeline of when the Gospels came out because we don't have any New Testament fragments from before the 4th century. So
Can I ask you a question real quick, bro? What's the earliest date that Paul letters are that they say Paul letters came out? What year?
I've seen. I had on my presentation 52. It was like 52,
Okay, so
I believe.
Okay. So I would say 60, but since yours say 52, I'm gonna go with yours.
Yeah, I was being nice.
Jesus,
I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give him the
right,
one that I
right.
see the earliest. I've been trying to be nice.
No, right, and I appreciate that. So Paul wrote about Jesus, right? Jesus died in 33 AD. Paul wrote, and what you said, 52. So that's less than 100 years. So you can throw that source out the window, bro.
He wrote about a revelation that he had. So again, I wasn't saying Jesus didn't exist as a myth. I said I don't believe he existed as a physical person. He didn't write about a physical Jesus. He wrote about some phenomena coming to him. He didn't write about Jesus.
Now that part is true. Paul never met Jesus, so that's true. Paul never met Jesus, and he did write about his encounter with Jesus on the road to Damascus. So what you're saying right there is true, right? But Paul said that he met Jesus' brother and 2 or 3 of the other disciples that were eyewitnesses to meeting Jesus. Did he not?
Yes, and again, everybody, the people who were a part of that cult at that time were calling themselves brothers of Jesus. It was like
that's cool. That's irrelevant.
So,
wait. Hold on. You said initially you said that nobody wrote about Jesus until 100 years after him, and then
I said the Gospels come out around then. Because you asked me the date on Paul, and I gave you the correct date, and we know that's not 100 years after. So you're conflating the two.
No, okay, I'm not, but I'm making a point.
Go ahead.
Paul also agreed to meeting people who didn't write until 52, and he's agreeing that the people who he got the gospel from wrote earlier than him. Then how are those not eyewitnesses?
Okay, let me share my screen again because I actually covered that in my debate. So I mean, you're laughing. I'm glad you asked that question.
No,
I was expecting Slim Reaper to ask me that question as well. So I was expecting.
And that's my brother. I brought Slim Reaper to the channel, so we kind of got a lot of the same ideas. So I get you, bro. I get you.
Let me share. Can I still? How do I do this again? Stop that from sharing.
Well, why you sharing real quick, bro? I
want to know the definition of fringe.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't look it up. You share that?
Craig wanted to know that.
So the first definition is the border or outer edges of an area or group.
Not what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Second definition is a decorative border of hanging threads left loose or formed into tassels or twists used to edge clothing or material.
Like Captain K. Go ahead.
No, the last this is just more expansion on those two definitions.
Okay, hold on. Read that first one again.
If you want to get up fringe,
not part of the mainstream, unconventional, peripheral, or extreme, as in
my bad. There we go. That's it right there. That's it. First definition. So those people who we talking about are fringe writers, correct? According to the first definition.
Okay, but if you want
this was my slide on fringe because Leandre called my ideas fringe as well. So I had made a slide for that. I said he says my ideas are fringe, but he's a Christian who self-admittedly claims to believe in the virgin birth, talking donkeys and talking snakes, but has now dwindled the existence of his so-called Messiah down to a myth, just as I have. Because I expected him to try to come and prove the historical Jesus absent of all the walking on water and all of that, like the one that Garfield believes in.
If you want to do fringe, hold on.
Go ahead, Craig.
You breaking up, Doc?
Okay, until we get Craig back, AOne.
I'm back. I'm back. What was saying? I just said with Fringe, you got to look up the encyclopedia reference of it, and it will explain to you the concept of why certain scholars would be considered fringe, and it would let you know that that's fringe is kind of like a good thing because they can overturn the consensus. Like they can overturn.
This is Craig. This is Friends, Craig. Me, you, Ratchet Craig, AOne, and
bro, you give me your definition, bro.
listen, Craig. Listen, bro. Craig, please just listen,
I'm
bro.
going by your definition. I'm
Can
telling
you listen real quick,
DMG.
though?
Do I have to get on my computer and bring up fringe to y'all?
DMG,
Come on, bro.
can I just make my point real quick? I just want to make the point real quick. DMG already read it, bro. Based off definition number one, me.
No, I'm going to look at the encyclopedia.
Bro, can I finish, bro?
Because
Please,
it would go into debt. It would go into debt.
Can I finish?
Let nobody respond.
Can I finish real quick, bro? Yeah, okay. Based off of definition number one, me, Ratchet Craig, Classic Craig, DMG, and AOne all agree that 1 + 1 = 2. That's the mainstream. Then let's just say Leandre. Let me finish, bro. Let's just say my brother. Let's just say my brother Leandre jump on this channel and say that 1 + 1 = 3. He would be a fringe writer because he's going against the main consensus, bro. So yes, fringe is not a good thing, bro. Let's go.
Fringe is a great thing. Like Darwin would consider a fringe.
Right, and that's why he was wrong for saying that he was a
fringe. He overturned the world, nigga. Everybody use evolution, nigga. Like, come on, y'all crazy,
not
bro.
Natural evolution, not speciation, bro. Everybody don't use that, bro.
Hey, let's not go down the evolution rabbit hole.
Right, that's right.
Evolution rabbit hole. So AOne.
Okay, now he asked me about Paul.
Right, Paul.
In biblical scholarship, there's an interesting collection of words carefully chosen by New Testament scholars to describe the manuscript's material. One word you come across frequently, especially when exploring the letters of Paul, is inauthentic, as opposed to authentic or genuine. Inauthentic is a polite word, of course, with none of the harsh connotations of fake or fraudulent, although that is precisely what it means. Kenneth Humphreys, Jesus Never Existed, page 23.
That's one.
That's one. But I have more than 5 on my shelf. That's what I was saying. So I know it's more than that. But I didn't want to dispute his argument. I don't know a lot of.
No. I want to hear him. I want to hear, because I said, now you will be proving me wrong. I said that there were only 6 scholars in the world today, including So if you can show me 5, I'm gonna have to change my argument. I mean, if you can show me more than 5, I'm gonna have to change my argument. So come on, show me the 5, bro. I mean, show me the more than 5.
Man, this nigga lying like a motherfucker. I can show you 100, motherfucker. You won't change your argument.
Pagan origins of the Christ, man.
You believe in magic with Jesus, bro. You believe
I don't know if that one.
Can everybody pause real quick? This is what I'm asking you for, AOne. I'm not talking about people who say it. I'm talking about scholars who are historians in this field of study. There are only 5, 6 including Richard Carrier, but we already crossed them out. There are only 5. So if you can show me 5 historians alive today in this field of study that says that, let's go.
Hey, Richard Carrier did not believe in the historical Jesus.
Maybe I don't know if mine are on the level that you're looking for. So you might be, I don't know what credentials you're specifically looking for. I know Kenneth Humphreys has his master's. He doesn't have a PhD. He has his master's in history. I don't know if that's good enough for you.
Can account to me. Can account. He count. Go ahead.
Okay, he's got his master's. I know he went to a school in the UK, I want to say.
He count. Okay, so what's the next person?
I got his book somewhere around here.
Okay, that's one. Now give me the other 4 people. That's one. I count Kenneth. Kenneth count. Who
hip to Kenneth?
Yeah, yes. I'm hip to Kenneth. So Kenneth count. Give me the other 4.
Timothy Freaky and P.D. Grandy. I mean, this book.
Is he a historian?
They are writing through. I believe so. I don't think they're just some writers like what's the one guy? Let me not even get the name dropping because they're gonna take it.
Okay. So as of right now, are we just going to put Kenneth in
I got 3
reserve?
people, man. I got a couple authors over here on the subject. That was just the point, though. I got a couple authors over here on the subject, but I'm not buying anybody who doesn't have
Study the
some
field
type
of
of
historian.
degree
Right.
in history
Right.
or something.
Right.
You know what I'm
There we
saying?
go. AOne, I like you, bro. I like you, bro. I like you, bro.
I'm gonna let y'all finish. I just got a question. The dudes that wrote the Jesus Wars is historians.
I took that back. I didn't show that one because I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I pulled that back and said, I don't know about this one. Let me pull this back because I don't even know if they might believe in Jesus. And for all I know, they believe in Jesus. I had to think about it because this was just about the wars in the 5th century between, the 2 factions and how we got to the Christianity that we have today. It wasn't really about. No, it wasn't even about none of that for real. So
now, honestly, what I've been doing is I can pull up all 5 names. I'm just trying to see if the people who y'all are getting their information from are actually one of these 5 names. And the dude that you brought up at first, Kenneth, yes, he is one of the 5 names. So that's why I want to hear the other 4 names to see. I could be wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I've studied this subject out extensively. So if you can just show me 6, no, 6 is just one more than what I'm asking. I'm confident that the 5 names that I have are the only 5 historians alive today that says that Jesus don't exist, which will equal 1% out of 1,000, which we have more than 1,000 historians. So let's go.
Bruh.
Now
Ain't
they got
nobody
me thinking. Bob Price.
That's what I'm arguing. I'm arguing that.
Now he got me thinking of all the Bart Ehrman debates and stuff like that. There is quite a few people.
Bart Ehrman says that it's foolish for any non-believer to say that Jesus don't exist. Don't make that argument. He on my side.
I know. I've heard him say that. But then I've also heard him argue against the resurrection and all that stuff that makes Jesus Jesus. So
yeah, but that would be different from Jesus actually existing. Now, don't get me wrong. Bart Ehrman is an atheist. He should not believe that all the stuff attributed to Jesus happened. That's why he's an atheist. But we're talking about the historicity of Jesus. He agrees that Jesus was a real person, even if he don't agree with all the stories that are written about him. The question tonight, as of right now, is for us to show. Well, my question is not for us, but my question was: can we get 5 people? Well, 6, because I can name 5. Can we get 6?
Hold on. First of all, you supposed to show us this percentage of 99.9.
I just explained it, Chris.
No, you trying to move the goalpost. Now we got
move the goalpost.
Because you were so confident. You were so confident in that statistic. Then you turned around and said 100%.
Hold on, Craig.
Can I finish?
No, say it again.
You said 99.9 of the scholars agree.
Right.
And then you said there was so much confidence. I'm just trying to see, where did you get that information from?
Because there are only
you pulled that out your ass or what, bro?
No.
My next question is: you turned around and said 100%.
Okay.
You tripled down on it.
Okay, I use the 100% to say that virtually all, but I gave my disclaimer. I can't say 100%. I gave that disclaimer first. I can't say 100%.
Can you give us 99.9?
Yes, I can give us 99.9 out of the 5.
Show me what they say they did. Not in your mind. You try to get us to 9 scholars because that ain't our whole thing to 9 different scholars. We're not trying to appeal to authority right now. We're trying to have the conversation. We're trying to have the conversation.
Okay, let me go. Okay, let me go. Now, I said that I agree there is no information that says 99.9%. Listen, let me finish first.
Can you give us 80? Can you give us 70? Let him get it out,
Ratchet. Let him get it out.
All right.
Okay. There is no information that says what I said as in 99.9%. No, I do not have a source for that. So I'm agreeing with you on that. I don't have a source that says 99.9% of scholars agree that. I don't have a source for that, bro. I've
Okay,
came
can you
to.
give us 90% of the scholars?
Can I finish,
Can
bro?
you give me that
Can I,
source?
can I finish? No, I can't. No, I can't. I can't even
Or
give you
can
90%.
you give us
No.
80%?
No, I can't give you 80%. I can't give you 70, 60,
Oh, so you're
50.
just talking out the
Okay.
side of your mouth right now.
No. So let me finish what I was saying. I was saying that I don't have a source that gives the exact numbers that I give, right? But based off of my own study, I say that 99.9% of scholars don't agree because I only know of 5
Why?
scholars.
I.
Me personally, I only. Right, I'm acknowledging that. Come on now. I only know of 5 scholars alive today that say that Jesus didn't exist. Now I
We don't
said,
care about. We ain't not trying
bro,
to appeal
can I
to
finish?
authority, though.
Can I finish, bro? Can I finish, please? I said that those 5 scholars can be compared to 1,000 scholars. Even though we have more than 1,000 historians alive today, I'm giving y'all the position that let's just say 1,000. Out of the 5 people who I know that say Jesus don't exist, that would be less than 1% out of the 1,000 scholars that we have today. That's why I say that. So tonight, I've asked, and the brother AOne has at least brought up one. I'm giving all of y'all credit for that. The brother AOne at least brought up one. I'm
Okay, I got some
asking
more
for
for
the
you.
names of. I'm asking for the names of the other 4 scholars. Yet nobody has been able to
Hold on.
disprove that there are 5
Bro,
scholars
bro,
I didn't
you
want to
alive
cut you
appeal
off.
today
to
who
authority.
disagree with that.
We talking
I
about
didn't
the
want to cut you off
argument,
though,
bro.
but
I'm going off
we
of
have
authority.
We
Hold
we
talking
on,
have
about the
David
argument.
Fitzgerald. Let me jump in. We have
A1,
David
give me 1 second.
Fitzgerald.
Hold on, A1, give me 1 second real quick.
Okay.
Craig, I'm not a scholar. You not a scholar. A1 not a scholar. DMG not a scholar. So yes, we
Okay,
have
that's
to.
fine.
Bro, can you pause real quick?
I said
Yes,
that's
we have.
fine. I said
Yes,
continue.
we.
That's fine.
Okay.
We know that.
Let me
We
finish.
know that.
Let me finish,
All right,
bro. Let me finish,
listen.
please.
One mic. Nobody. You finish what you saying. Ratchet.
Thank
No.
you,
Or
DMG.
A1. Y'all respond. Whichever one of y'all want to respond. Get
Okay.
it
I'm
out.
going
Nobody.
next. We're going next.
Okay.
So
Hold
you
on.
get to the
It's on me
question.
right now, Craig. Appealing to authority is not a fallacy unless you appeal to an authority that's not an expert in that field. Right now, we're talking about historians. So yes, we have to appeal to authority. Why? Because I'm not a historian. You're not a historian. A1 not a historian. Neither is DMG. So all of our information has to come from the experts. So yes, I am appealing to authority. The authority that I am appealing to are the over 1,000 historians that are alive today who say that Jesus didn't exist. Your appeal to authority is the 5 or less scholars who say that he did it. Which number should we believe? Let's go.
So that's what you doing, bro? Is that
Yes,
your
that's
best
what I'm
thing
doing.
you can do?
You funny, Craig.
Yeah, is that what you doing?
Yes,
I
yes.
asked you, you made this claim. You came up here with this claim.
Can I save Craig, man? Can I
99.9.
save him, please?
Come on, A1. A1,
Hey,
go
no,
ahead, bro.
you came in with
Okay.
this claim. Hold on. Let me get it out, bro.
Let
I
A-
got to
go ahead,
deal with
Craig. Go
this.
ahead, Craig.
Yeah. He's made 99.9. Then he turned around and said 100%. Then he turned around and say we ain't experts. All we doing is having an argument about the evidence on historical Jesus, and he got to rely on
Expert.
99.9%.
Yeah, expert. Right.
Bro, you can't do that, bro. We having a conversation.
What?
We having a conversation. We trying to see what we know, bro. We trying to see what we know, bro. You trying to rely on stuff, bro. This ain't no good for debating, bro, on what we know.
It's all Craig. It's all possible.
Bro, this is not good, bro. That's why we can't get into no academia. That's why we can't get into no academia shit.
Get out what he's saying.
This is why we can't get into no academia field, because y'all niggas shut it down. Just like y'all believe it's a historical Jesus and shut it down. You don't care if it's a historical Jesus or not.
I do.
No matter.
I do.
You only care about magical Jesus, nigga. Cut it out.
Wow.
But I laid the flying on that one.
But Craig, that's not true though, bro. Hold up. Real talk though, Craig. Real talk. All the magical stuff that they say about Jesus, I first could not believe in that magical stuff if first I had proof that he was historical, bro. Like, come on, I ain't talking about no Spider-Man, bro. Like, but anyway, go ahead,
What proof you had?
Historical Jesus has to be
That's the
real in order
argument
for
we
me
need to
to.
have right there.
Hold up, Craig. Listen to me, Craig. Historical Jesus has to be real for me to even believe the magical stuff about him, bro. Not the other way
Right.
around, bro.
Bro, we had a dude on here talk about unicorns. It's right.
That's true. That's true.
Like,
That's
come
true.
on, bro. If
I
that's
believe
y'all
in
best
unicorns.
evidence, bro.
But I believe in unicorns though. I believe in unicorns, but
You
not the
believe in
horses.
unicorns?
Yes, a
You believe in a
unicorn
horse?
is a one horn. Hold up. No, I don't.
Can
I
I-
don't believe in a horse with one horn. A unicorn is a rhinoceros with one horn. Yes, I believe in it.
Can I
It's
interrupt? Because
true.
he's making a lot of fallacious claims, and I'm not saying that's
Okay, go ahead.
You
He jumping
said,
out the window. He jumping out the window. I like
well,
this shit.
and I'm not trying to insult
I
him,
jumped
because
out
I'm
the
sure he's gonna
Craig. I
teach me
jumped
some
out the
shit, some
airplane,
stuff
Craig.
too.
I jumped out the airplane.
He said it's a lot of dang, that was crazy. I forgot what you said. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Take your time, AOne, and rethink of what you. I was talking about historical Jesus.
You trying to say that the people
Hold
of
up,
the
Craig.
Bible, when they mention unicorns, because he
Hold
forgot.
up.
Oh,
Hold
you
up,
forgot.
Craig.
said you said you
wanna
can't
do
believe in
unicorns
the
and talk about
mythological Jesus. Hold on.
bro.
Hold up. I want to bring.
Bro.
Craig,
Cut
can you
that
please
out.
pause?
Y'all
I want to
One
get.
at a time. One at a time.
I
One at
know.
a time. Nobody. Get it
Pause,
out.
Craig. I want to bring AOne back to the thought that he was saying. Craig, I was talking about historical Jesus.
He said no. You
99.9.
said nobody that you can't come to the conclusion of a mythological Jesus without a historical Jesus. But
Right.
you've never seen. I went over the historical method. You weren't an eyewitness. All you have is history and reaccounts. So all
Right.
you have could be. You don't know if it's real.
Wrong.
Okay. I mean, and
Right.
again,
Wrong.
Again, I'll give you an opportunity to go ahead to show me can you name any evidence that you have for Jesus existing for me?
Okay. If you don't mind, can I first attack your logical reason for saying that in the first place?
Well, I think that before you say that, I just want to say that I think that your statement goes against the idea of syncretism, that it's an amalgamation of different religions that were already in the region and different concepts coming together to create a new one. But go ahead.
And we can talk about. Okay. Now, DMG, maybe about 45 minutes ago, he just explained to you that none of us was alive when George Washington walked the earth. Everything that we believe about George Washington is not only secondary, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 generations from where we are now. We can conclusively take the information that we hear about George Washington and suggest that George Washington was a real person, not the mythology, because we've all heard mythology about George Washington. I heard that George Washington was on the battlefield and stood up on a horse. I mean, he was on a horse that stood over all the enemies that he was fighting to give him the logical conclusion for him to make the battle decisions that he made. I don't believe that. That's mythology. But do I deny? Wait. Come on, bro. But does that mean that George Washington didn't exist? No. So when it comes to Jesus, So when it comes to Jesus, right? Who would know that Jesus? I'm talking about if we just had to give anybody in the world outside of his mama. We don't have no writings of Mary or none of that. Craig, please, bro, please.
Let him get it out. Let him get it out, Ratchet. Let him get it out.
Let him cook. Craig. He started to cook.
Okay. Now, even though I believe in all the mythical stuff that's said about Jesus, for the sake of argument, I'm willing to take out all the mythical stuff about Jesus just to narrow it down to
You can't do it.
Just to narrow it down that if this person existed or not, right? You agree that Paul wrote in 52 AD. Jesus died in 33 AD. Paul claimed to have met Jesus' brother, biological brother. You mean to tell me that Jesus' brother didn't know that he existed? Come on, bro.
Hey,
Come on,
nobody.
bro.
I don't wanna do this, nobody. But
Go ahead, classic.
I'm gonna tell you this, right? Hercules, Gilgamesh, their labors, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Check this out. They're 12 labors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are so-called deities that had this great strength and great wisdom and et cetera, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Right.
they're passed down in legend throughout history, and some people
Passed
say they're
down in what?
real.
Wait. Passed
I,
down in what? Passed
legend and
down in what?
history.
Legend,
Legend,
right? Okay. Okay, go
legend,
ahead.
legend, history, folklore,
Okay.
you know what I'm
Okay.
saying, right?
Right. Right.
But just because it was passed down in history doesn't necessarily deem it as true and proof.
Right.
True and proof, right? Has to be
Right.
shown with that. We have no proof of a hydra. We have no proof of the Nemean lion. We have no proof of the man-eating horses that Hercules took care of. You know what I'm saying? We have no proof
Can
of
I ask you
these
one
things.
question? Can I interject real quick?
Go ahead.
Not only do we not have proof of those things, right? Because it ain't just about the proof. We don't have documentation to sustain any of that either. Not just the proof. We don't even have documentation for it. We got
Right.
documentation for Jesus. Go ahead.
But here's the thing, though, and I was going to get to that, right? Now, here's the thing with the documentation with
What
Christ, right?
documentation?
Well, hold on. There are variable cases of what Christ was like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some say he had these miracle capabilities and powers. Some say he
Mm-hmm.
was just a healer. Some say he was
Mm-hmm.
a charismatic leader, right? They don't
Mm-hmm.
lead
Right.
to one thing at the end of the day, right? They don't even narrow
Right.
down to him being the Jesus that we know in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Now, to be
Chris,
honest,
again, I'm gonna cut you off, but 1 second. If the accounts that we have, even from non-believers, are saying that this dude was a healer, as in healing the blind, aren't those miracles?
here's the thing, though, right? And that's the point right there. The non-believer versus believer thing right there, nobody.
The
You're
non-believer said that this dude was healing people. Go ahead. Come on, bro.
now check this out, right? You're equating him being a healer to him actually healing the blind. When they look into
Whatever
the
healing.
records,
My bad.
when they look into the records of Jesus' so-called healing, when they describe him as a healer, he wasn't healing the blind like that. He was just a person who had the ability, who knew different medicines and stuff like that to pretty much do these things, right? It wasn't miraculous like it was in the Bible. So they have various different tales of what Christ was like. It's not just, that's why people say it's multiple Jesuses. You see
No,
what I'm saying?
but quick. You brought up the healer, right?
Yeah, I brought that up as an example.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, I brought it. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Because
We can hear you.
I'm in a rainstorm. Yeah, I brought that up as an example. Go ahead, nobody.
Oh, no, Chris, I was just asking, based off of the writings that you've read about Jesus being a healer, what other like diseases or whatever was Jesus healing outside of healing the deaf, the blind, et cetera, that the Bible states?
Well,
What other diseases?
here's the thing, right? I mean, like, when it comes down to it, the different little illnesses they had, but with that healer, right, he wasn't really healing no blind person, restoring their sight back like the so-called superpower Jesus was. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. There's various different points of Christ and what they deemed him as. It's not just one thing. Like this guy, he walked on water, he did etc. X, Y, and Z, rose from the dead. I mean, there was various different points of him, and I found that interesting. Now, me, I believe in the one who healed the blind, who did all these
Yeah,
miraculous things.
yeah,
Right?
I know that.
I
Yeah, you're a
believe that.
believer. Yeah.
But my point is, when we look at it, right, with these people who use the historical method, they have to have something in order to give them that proof in order for them to believe it. It's not them just saying, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in nothing. They need to see some form of evidence with that, and there's no evidence with that. So they can't pretty much have that on a concrete basis to say, this is actually real. When Ratchet say, and AOne even say, hey, historical Jesus can be overturned, right? Because there's holes in that argument, right? There's not enough proof to solidify that this was the Jesus that was doing all this within the Bible. And most believers have a problem with that. I'm just coming from a non-biased point. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
you put
Right.
your belief, you putting your belief over the foundation of the evidence is somewhat overshadowing the missing points and the issue with them not believing in Jesus at all.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
pause real quick. Pause, hold on. But correct. That goes back to the question that I just asked you, right? If they saying, well, Jesus didn't exist or Jesus did exist, but he's this historical person, not this mythical person, right? You just said that you've read accounts of people talking about Jesus being a healer. I've read those same accounts. Not only does those accounts talk about Jesus being a healer, it talks about him being a magician. But let's not get into the magician stuff. Let's just stay on the healing stuff. What sources have you read that talk about Jesus being a healer outside of restoring sight to the blind and giving people that couldn't walk the ability to walk? We're talking about for example, somebody having a common cold and they just can get healed for that by osmosis or whatever. What other sites have you read about Jesus being a healer when it comes to the blind and walking and all that doesn't line up with the Bible is what I'm asking you. And I'm asking you that because these people also claim to not believe in Jesus, but have also claimed to have read those same sources to the point to where they believe in historical Jesus, but not mythological Jesus, but the story that they read about healer Jesus is a person who could have only healed those people based off of what they're calling mythology. Make it make sense to me, bro.
I'll make it make sense, Chief. Like, it's no problem, right? It's just like how you got a lot of the Egyptians, right? Who called the Pharaoh Heru, or the son of Heru, right? Saying that he must have been a deity or either a demigod or he was Heru incarnate in that Pharaoh's physical form, right? In a lot of ways, man, like I said, legend, history, and folklore, right? In these early cultures, right? A lot of them, in a lot of ways, pretty much. How can I put it? What's the word for it? Exaggerated, or not even in a lot of ways had the accurate description of what Christ was. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't just. Let's put it to you like this. Let's just say I'm a believer, right? Just for your sake, right? I'm a believer, and I'm looking for evidence for Jesus, right? So I'm looking for him walking on water. Now, I look at the evidence that said, okay, Jesus is here. I see the records of him, but he's not walking on water, right? Now, this is the problem, and this is the contradiction. And this is what I'm saying to you at the end of the day, right? The sources, what I have read is what they pretty much have on historical Jesus right now. You feel me? And that's why there's holes in that argument. It's just not lining up. You get me what I'm saying, nobody? It's not lining up. The task and everything he did is not lining up. Just like how when I brought up Hercules and Gilgamesh and all them, right? How there's different variations of them. You see what I'm saying? I had this argument with Mr. McBride, right? Talking about the two twins who were born from that wolf cub or whatever. I don't know. Who got nursed by that wolf. Romulus and his brother, right?
Yeah,
Now,
the Robert, the part of his ancestors. Yeah.
Yeah. There was one legend of them being demigods, right? And then there was another rumor and legend of them being born of a virgin. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about, where it comes to a clash and issue right there, right? And I'll just land my plane like that right there, nobody.
And we know that Romulus, right? According to academia, we know they mythology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can't pick and choose when to use academia.
No, hold on. I'm trying to go somewhere. Right quick.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to go somewhere. A1, where you at, A1?
No, you go, Craig, because after you, I'm going.
I'm
Go ahead.
I
talking to
did
A1.
want to jump in. I was just trying to be,
Yeah,
I
Go ahead,
got a
A1.
question,
waiting for my
A1.
turn.
Go ahead, A1.
Yeah, I
Go ahead,
gotta
A1.
ask you a question, A1. I'm trying to get it back to you. Follow me.
I'm listening.
So you got to, cause I heard nobody bring up the brother Jives and Paul talking to the brother Jives. Is there any evidence that this brother Jives existed in like on records, bro? Like, is there any evidence that Brother James, or this could have been a possibility of just a legend still getting passed down?
He's mentioned in the brother of Christos is mentioned in Josephus's works. And again, I'm honest about what information they do have. Again, because I'm a preacher's son, I was really trying to prove he existed. So when I, in my endeavors, the shit like was
A1,
fucking
believe
with
it or
me,
not,
man.
I was a non-believer. I was a non-believer, bro, who came to my conclusion. But go ahead. I didn't always believe it.
I don't never believe that one, bro.
So
I
when
don't believe that.
historians use the historical method, they are looking for corroborating evidence from different sources, and we do have more than one source for somebody talking about a brother of Jesus. And again, like I'm not saying that he was just a cult member and they called each other the brother of Jesus. That's it's speculation, and I don't think that the argument that half of history is bullshit and set up like this is the argument that he existed. I just think that we have to admit that half of history is BS. I think that's what we should say. I don't think we should be like, well, we make the stretch for all these other people. Like, well, maybe we should stop.
I ain't trying to get you up out of this. I ain't trying to get you up out of
A1 right. No, A1 is right.
No, A1
bullshit.
A1 bullshit. He needs to stand on something.
He not
I am.
BSing, bro.
And if you let me go back, I'm about
BSing.
to stand on this because in the question to answer round, I was going to ask questions like, do you believe in Muhammad? Do you believe in Thoth? And then do you believe in Thoth?
No, I don't believe in Thoth.
Let me do the politics.
And then my question would be, why the double standard?
Because we don't have, as y'all talk about evidence. No, I'm gonna tell you why. As y'all talk about evidence, we don't have any evidence that we have humans with bird heads, bro. So no, I don't believe that.
I'm gonna tell.
I feel you. That's where I would go with the talking snake and things of that nature if we were to attribute.
I'm gonna
no.
The
So
I should say.
Right, I got you, A1. I got you,
So
A1.
you got evidence, brother, the brother James.
Before I pass it to you, Craig, can I read this to him one more time?
Yes.
Before I pass it to you, Craig, let me read this to him one more time because he keeps bringing up Paul. And I'm honest that Paul's writings were, they claimed for them to be as early as like around, I say 58, 56. But in biblical scholarship, let me read this again from Kenneth Humphreys about Paul. In biblical scholarship, there is an interesting collection of words carefully chosen by New Testament scholars to describe the manuscript material. One word you come across frequently, especially when exploring the letters of Paul, is inauthentic, as opposed to authentic or genuine. Inauthentic is a polite word, of course, with none of the harsh connotations of fake or fraudulent, although that is precisely what it means. So he's showing that. Now, you were saying that you're going to listen to the scholars and all of that. Well, I mean, I didn't get into all of that in my presentation because I have answers for that. I was showing how the biblical scholarship has been stretched, how they come up with words for like interpolation when really it's a forgery. And we call it a lexicon. Hold on.
I'm not letting you out the hook. You trying to get out the hook right now when I'm asking you, A1.
Because, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Craig. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, you got to get out the hook.
I'm not getting off the hook. I was trying to explain what he was asking. You might be trying to save me, though. Baby, go ahead.
Nobody. This is the question I'm asking right now. I'm asking you, is it any evidence of this outside of Paul? Outside of Paul, of this Jesus brother that we know of called James, like that's important right there.
Okay.
Because that was Paul shit is on.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm a ride with what A1 was trying to get to. We don't have any argument from no scholar that Jesus brother didn't exist. That's not even an argument at all.
So we appealing to authority.
Let me finish.
We talking about what we know, brother.
Let me finish, bro. Can I please finish? There is no argument among scholars if Jesus' brother existed at all. There is not one argument against that. Paul,
I'm not
come,
because
come on,
they
let me
say
finish
Paul.
though.
That's
Let
because
me
they say
finish.
Paul wrote about him.
That
We
it
go
don't have
ahead.
nothing to do
That's
with
because
this
they say
Paul
Paul
wrote
wrote
about it.
about him. So he
That
exists.
that don't have nothing.
Real quick. This Courtney AOne conversation is gonna be lit
It's gonna
because
be lit.
Courtney is chomping at the bits to chop this tree down. So AOne, hey man, listen.
Come on, Courtney, hit the panel,
This is
bro.
a completely different type of beast. This is a textual critic.
Hit the link, Courtney.
So he can't. He at work.
Courtney's at
Yeah,
work.
work,
Yeah.
yeah, work. Yeah,
Courtney,
work.
Courtney,
I'm
Courtney
glad
is one of
Courtney's
my
at work
Facebook.
because he
Courtney,
looks
no,
like
hold on,
he's
wait.
really eager to give me
No,
that work.
Courtney is one of my Facebook homeboys. So,
Hey,
go ahead.
he
Shout
say
out Courtney.
hashtag Timber.
Shout out
Hey,
Courtney.
AOne.
What's up?
Listen, you gotta be ready. I don't know if y'all gonna talk about this particular subject, if y'all gonna pick another subject,
Pick
but
another subject. Pick another
look,
subject.
he say coming on Wednesday. He ready. He ready.
Come on, Courtney. Come on, Courtney.
I ain't never seen him this amp. I ain't never seen him this amp.
DMG,
Can I
that's
respond
85
to D?
films.
Can I? Go ahead. Go ahead.
DMG, you hear me? Hello, DMG, that's 85 films. That's the same person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. No. You talking about Courtney Brown?
Yeah, Courtney Brown.
No, this Courtney Thompson.
This Courtney Thompson.
Okay.
This a whole other beat.
My bad. I'm
This
off.
is a whole other beat right here.
This Dagger Squad official.
Yeah,
Okay.
this thing is
My
official.
bad, Courtney. My bad, Courtney.
He is what you call it? Criticism, literature criticism. What over? Bro, he's the best at it. I think he's the best at it.
He
Yeah,
that
he's
same
the best at
person.
it.
He that same person that's telling you that macroevolution ain't what it is.
But yeah.
But anyway, hold up.
I
want you next up to go, bro. All that's being said is based off of what's being said tonight. Tonight, what has been said is that we have acknowledged other people that there is no dispute in history if they existed or not. And these people reference Jesus. E.I., Paul, E.I., Jesus' brother, E.I., Josephus, all these people. It don't matter when they wrote about Jesus. For example, Josephus, even though he wasn't alive when Jesus wasn't alive, I wasn't alive when Dr. King was alive. Think about that. I wasn't alive when Abraham Lincoln was alive. I wasn't alive when George Washington was alive. But you mean to tell me that I don't have enough knowledge about life in today when somebody talks about either one of those people? I don't care if I ever seen a photo. I ain't never been to MLK grave. I ain't met his wife. I ain't met his son. I ain't met his daughter. I ain't met nobody in his lineage. Did you know that George Washington kinfolk are still living today? Abraham Lincoln kinfolk are still living today. The Jewish people that comes from the bloodline that Jesus come from still lives today. So you mean to tell me that these people, even if they wrote 5 years after, 10 years after, 100 years after, 300 years after, you mean to tell me that these people don't have enough knowledge within the era that they are living in to be able to differentiate whether Hercules, a nigga with 2 hammers, his father half God, wife is full human, and they came, those people, you can find in the writings of their own people that this stuff is a myth. You can find in the writings of the Egyptian people that that their stuff is a myth. You mean to tell me that these people don't know whether somebody is alive or alive based off the era that they lived in and wrote on compared to us living in 2024? Stop playing with me, bro.
It sounds. I mean,
The good sound
My bad. It don't just
shout
sound
out
good,
to
bro.
buddy
I
with the
just want to
amazing rant. With the,
emphasize.
hey, you got a sound bite. You
I just
got a
got
sound
to
bite on your hands
emphasize
right
right
there. You
quick.
got to clip that and put that on
I
the page.
just got to emphasize right quick because that's going to be a short. I
Nice.
just got to emphasize right quick. When that man say, "Stop playing with me," he mean business. He's standing on business like
I
T.I.
stand
said.
on business.
Man,
A1,
cut it out.
I want you to respond with the same level of energy that nobody from Trust and Believe the Gospel just gave you, because when you get done with the brother Courtney, I believe it's a nobody waiting down a dark alley for you. Go ahead,
Power,
bro.
power would buy Paradigm Shift TV 314. Let's go, man.
Again, I just believe that when you apply the same methodology that you apply to Jesus, to Josephus, and these people who were writing 2 lifetimes after he existed, it becomes problematic. The fact that the writings that we do have, the Gospels, they're heavily biased. We can't trust them. Paul, he never met this guy. If you never met Jesus, if Jesus only came to you in a revelation, was his brother real as well? Like, we have to have these conversations. Again, the earliest documents that we have fragments, and we're trying to, and even these date to the 4th century. You know, we don't have, there's a big gap in the writings that we have versus the stories being told. And this it gets real wild here. Again, we got Paul here first. First, you got Paul. But again, I link this to syncretism and the story already being out. Josephus can't be doing anything but repeating stories he's already been told.
Right.
We don't know how he verified these stories. He doesn't put that information in there. Not to say he did, not to say he didn't, but we have to, if we're going to be honest about the information. Okay. You know, we can't just trust people writing well after. Again, you know, the average lifespan was 40 years back then. So, you know, Josephus lived to be like 100 or something.
That's not true. Not true.
What's not true?
If you say the lifespan was only 40 and Josephus lived to be 100, then that means it ain't true. Go ahead.
I mean, I said that's what they say the average lifespan was. I mean, a lot of people live to be well over the average lifespan, but
right.
You know,
not the majority, right? Not the majority, right.
It's usually Christians and Muslims who hit me with that when I explain, like if I ask a Muslim why was Muhammad sleeping with little girls, usually they're supposed to be like, well, the average lifespan is over 40, so you know.
We on the same page with that.
They'll give me that, so that's why I was bringing that up. It's not, and I actually looked it up to try to be like, hell no, that ain't right. But when I looked it up, I was like, oh shit, it's on here.
No.
Okay,
A1,
I gave him that point. You know, I'm like, okay,
A1, you're right. The lifespan back then was less than us today. You're right on that. You're right.
So you know what I'm saying? We have these early fragments that, you know, there's a big gap between 33 CE and 150 CE to when we find these first fragments. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then the Gospels being anonymous, and then we attribute the names Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. This is,
I got an argument for that.
Wild. This is wild. This is not how history is done. The fact that we don't even have names for these authors, this stuff is supposedly, it's again, man, we have to be honest with ourselves. Like, what can we prove and what can't we really prove? What are we guessing on? We have writers like Hercules, and I don't even believe the Egyptians. I don't believe in that Egyptian stuff. I'm not no Egyptian maniac.
Right, I know that. I
believe in that stuff's mythology as well. You said the same thing I tell people all the time. I'll be like, man, it was just principles. And you're supposed to look at it symbolically, and we didn't think nobody was walking around with a falcon head. And they'd be like, "Oh, you're right." You know,
right.
The people would be like, "The Egyptians really believe that." They be trying to make me seem like I'm crazy. I'm like, "No, they didn't, man."
No, they believe that. They did. You're right. They believe that, bro. They believe it.
So,
they believe it.
A recent in-depth analysis by papyrologist Dr. Brent Nogbri actually places P66 in the 4th century CE. So this is the first complete version of John we have. It comes in the 3rd century. You know what I'm saying? This is getting wild. We don't have this stuff actually coming out in a timely fashion after the events for us to actually say that this is documentation. The first complete mark we have at 35 CE. I mean 350 CE. Excuse me. So I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
No, I just want to add. I want you to finish. I just want to add. Notice
Okay,
that you
I
said
was gonna say this
no,
big gap.
you said the first completion of John or Mark,
I
not the
said
first.
the most complete for the first like kind of close
Well,
to
no,
complete
I
mark
got you.
we
I got
have
you. No, no,
is,
no. Listen, bro. I'm rocking
and
with
if
you. I'm
somebody
rocking
can
with you.
show me one from earlier, then I'll stand
No,
corrected.
no, no. No, 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 no,
Okay.
no, no, no. You're right. I'm rocking with you. I'm saying you're saying that the first completed or semi-completed books that we have, right? Not the first fragments, bro. The first
The first,
fragments that I'm talking about. Listen to me. I'm agreeing with you. Fragments don't mean complete. So I'm agreeing with you. We don't have a complete version until those times that you're saying. But the first fragments that we have of those books are much older than that, though. So that would lead us to believe that whoever wrote about this stuff based off the fragments are older than the completed version, right or wrong?
I'm sorry, ask that question again. I got distracted by something.
If
I'm
I,
sorry. I
if
apologize. I apologize.
No, no, it's good. It's good. If I might not have a completed version of something, but if I have a fragment of that version that's older than the completed version, that would mean that that completed version is not the oldest, right?
This isn't a complete version. I see what you're saying. Yeah, but the earliest fragments that we
Okay.
do have,
He said yeah.
date
So go
the
ahead.
early yes. Okay, now look at the dates for the earliest fragments that we do have.
120. I already know what they are, bro. I'm already on it.
And that's
120.
these right here, the P104, the P52, and the P90. So
And then how old are
Hey,
the
real quick,
PV9?
I didn't went out and came again, and my stuff is still unstable.
and even these fragments
So
aren't the originals. These are not original. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like
coming
they,
back in to
Right,
see
you're
what
we
right.
don't
happened.
No,
know.
no. We don't have no
Y'all
original
hear me?
A1. We don't have
Yeah,
no original.
so we don't know what's been changed. It's
But
getting
Y'all,
it's getting
but all
crazy that
the
we're basing
all the
our soul.
A1 all the fragments older than the completed version? Yes.
Of course,
All right. Go ahead, MG.
DMG.
I think he probably faded out. But come on, A1. Let's keep on going, bro. I like
Okay.
you, bro. I ain't gonna talk about your mama or your daddy or none of that. I ain't
I
gonna switch up
appreciate it, man. I
none of
appreciate
that, bro.
it.
I
Sometimes I
like
might
where you're
deserve
coming
it, but
from.
I
Yeah,
just
no,
want
real
to
talk.
get on here and go back and forth. We all learning from each other, man.
Real talk. No, bro.
Everybody should be learning. I doubt everybody's just gonna somebody's just gonna be a teacher on here and not pick
No,
up something
bro.
along the way. So,
Somebody gonna love you more than me, and somebody gonna love me more than you. But we would hope that the personality worship outweighs what the facts of the stuff that we're presenting, presents, bro. Like real talk. So I agree with you, bro, on that all day, all day.
and this was in conclusion to that time gap. The historical evaluation of Jesus and the adherence to conventional historical guidelines can be a complex and debated topic. While the religious significance of Jesus is unquestionable, some scholars argue that the available historical evidence falls short of meeting traditional historical criteria. Firstly, the scarcity of contemporary non-religious accounts of Jesus' life raises skepticism amongst historians. Like it's not. I know you saying it's not it's a slim majority, but I
Right.
think that's because you had. Again, we were talking about earlier. If you went against this, you couldn't get hired. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, no, I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't say that that's not true overall. Now, because if we look at, no, I got a 19-year-old daughter. She go. No, I'm saying I got a 19-year-old daughter. She go to college. The majority of college professors do teach that Jesus didn't exist. So I'm with you on it, but I'm kind of balanced. I'm a little bit off and on with it because I do know that people can get hired, teaching that Jesus didn't exist by way of my 19-year-old daughter who's in college right now. So there are people who do teach that, but based off of the evidence, and everybody asking for evidence, right? For example, A1. I've never met you in person, bro. I don't know right now if you are some kind of AI planet bot or whatever you want to call it. All I know of you is online, right? But if I had to ask DMG, if I had to ask Ratchet Craig, Classic Craig, or even my daughter who listens to our podcast, they all would agree that you are a real person, a historical person, bro. Even if they can't pull your pictures from Facebook, from Instagram, from TikTok, even if they can't name your wife, your children, your mama, your auntie, your kids, they would have to admit, at least my daughter would have to admit, my daddy was on a platform with a dude named AOne, and AOne is not a AI bot. He is a real person in real time who answered my daddy questions in real point in real time and didn't sound like one of these bots that called me on the phone at 8 o'clock in the morning with a spam call, bro. We would have to give that same credence to people in the past who were not trying to deceive us. Don't get me wrong. Deception is real. Lies are real. But we don't have no evidence that Josephus, Paul, Peter, James, any fragment, any complete book that you want to pull up from the Bible, there is not one book of the gospel, whether fragment or not, that don't have Mark, Matthew, Luke, John name on it. So my conclusion is, how can a person say that the Gospels were distributed anonymously?
Wait. Say that last part one more time for me. You said when you went off with the names Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You said there's no part of the Gospel that doesn't have.
We don't have out of the 200,000 fragments or completed books that we have of the New Testament. We don't have no fragments or books in history that says that these books were not written by either Mark, Matthew, Luke, or John. Not one.
What?
My question is, who are Mark, Matthew, Luke, or John? It says according to.
You made that up. No matter. You just made that one
up.
One
we know it's according to. These are
honestly, Craig,
these are anonymous, and I can bring sources for that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I didn't show here because.
You don't have to do it tonight, AOne.
So I didn't put all that stuff on here.
AOne, we can have a dialogue or debate, whatever, in the future. And I'm not expecting for you to do it tonight, bro. Honestly, I'm not tonight.
No. I like to set it up, man. I like to build the anticipation. Let's make it a big deal. We're content creators. Let's get some stuff out for the people.
Hold on, listen to me, AOne. But I will challenge. I've never challenged you. I've never challenged you on nothing, bro. He's scared. Come on, Craig, please give me a chance, bro. I do challenge you, AOne, based off of all the studies that I've done, off of those, P91s and P8, all this. We don't have any writings of the gospel that don't have either Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John on it. We don't have no other writers of the gospel. So I will challenge you tonight, if you accept it, to show me. I don't care if it's a fragment or a complete book or whatever. Show me any other, thing in history that don't have one of those 4 names on them, bro.
Okay. Now, my position that I wouldn't want to take, let me give him my position, because I don't agree with you, though. I take the position that these are anonymous and that these are names attributed to them. I do have that in my presentation, actually. There's a name for what that is called. When someone writes under someone else's name.
Somebody else's name. Yeah.
Right. So, and I went into this, it was called a lexicon of biblical dishonesty, and how they come up with all these terms and stuff.
It's like the book of Enoch. People in my Christian faith, who I do consider Christians, they feel like that. Now, I ain't saying don't read it, but they feel like that the book of Enoch is something that we should read when we know that the book of Enoch is a part of the Apocrypha. And the Apocrypha means not genuine. So Enoch did not write those books. Hold on, Craig. I'm trying to agree.
The first Enochs are credible, bro. Enochs are credible.
You said that the first books of Enoch are credible. I got you.
Yeah, the first 3. It's 5 of them.
I got you. I don't want to go down the rabbit.
It's kind of like Paul letter. It's kind of like Paul.
I got you. Now, if I believe that, then that would make me and AOne finna argue about what I was about to say. But no, I agree with what AOne said. people do write in the name of other people, and those writings are not authentic. I'm agreeing with AOne right now. I'm not disagreeing. I'm agreeing. But what I'm saying is, all of the attributations to the New Testament that we have, that we can find, there are over 200,000 of them. 200,000 documentations that we have of the New Testament. Not one.
Can I correct you?
Go ahead, correct me.
Okay, there are actually about 4,000 to 5,000, but none of them date to before the 4th century. So that's what I challenge you to. That's what I challenge you to bring to the debate.
No, but
or whatever the discussion.
I'm not challenging you. I'm not challenging you on the date that they came out. Mm-hmm. I'm challenging you that those don't have Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John as the authors. That's what I'm challenging you on.
Wait, you're saying they don't have them as the authors?
Right.
We agree. They're anonymous. They're anonymous, and we attributed those names to those.
No, not anonymous. No. Listen to me. That's the part that me and you disagreeing on. You're saying now. First off, you said that you agree, but then you said that we agree that they're anonymous.
So maybe I'm misunderstanding you. So go ahead, explain again for me.
And I may be misunderstanding you. I may be misunderstanding you. The only part that me and you are disagreeing on is that I'm saying all of those writings that we have of the New Testament Gospels, not everything else, just the Gospels. Every single writing that we have of the Gospels are either attributed to Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. We don't find not one without that. That's the only part I'm disagreeing with you on.
Okay, yeah, it's my stance that we don't have names on those documents. Hold on, let me bring myself on the screen. Take you off of the big one. It's my stance that we don't have those names on the documents, that they're anonymous, and that we've just attributed those names as a way to keep flow with what we're reading. So we don't think it's all one.
So you're saying that just say in that era when those writings were occurring, the people who received those writings, they received those writings anonymously without giving a tribute to the people who actually wrote them. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay. I thought that's what you were saying, and I'm just saying I disagree. That's all. I'm just saying. I disagree.
Okay, good. We're on the same page. Yeah, then we can set up a nice discussion and bring some sources out. And,
I agree with that too.
And kick it one of these nights, man, because that'll be fun. See, I like doing stuff like that because all they do is make me do homework. And when I'm training in the dojo, you know what happens. You know, we all gonna get buff on the knowledge.
Are you talking about a martialistic dojo?
Yeah, I mean, but that's what happens. You go and train for your bout. If it was boxing,
are you training for UFC, bro?
I do train. Yes, for boxing, and I'm trying to get back focused. At the same time, I work out a lot at my job. At the same time, while I'll be listening to podcasts.
Have you already had some fights? Have you had some fights?
I had a whole league going called Hands Up, Guns Down Sundays. That I was running.
Is it on YouTube or any other platform I can watch it?
On Facebook, I got a bunch of fights and stuff on there. Yeah,
bro. I think I'm not for sure. I think me and you may be friends on Facebook. If not, my name is Jacobus White, bro. I love forget the Bible. I mean, I ain't saying forget it completely, but forget the Bible and all this other stuff that me and you disagreeing on. If you into combat sports, bro, I will support you 100%, bro. Like
definitely into the combat sports. I'm into knowing how to defend myself and I'm training my daughter too as well. So that's one reason.
Hold on, Ratchet, real quick, please. Hold on, Craig, please.
Somebody drop the link. Courtney want to be on here.
Drop the link, Craig.
I'll drop it for Courtney. I'll drop it.
Craig, drop the link. Courtney, please hit the platform.
Courtney's off work. That's what's up.
You trying to hit the platform stuff, though, Batty. I know you trying to do your sneaky little stuff. You trying to woo a person to sleep.
Man, please stop, bro.
I know
bro,
you.
Please
Craig,
stop, bro.
I think you got an echo.
I'm not trying to woo nobody. Courtney, please hit the link that Craig dropping for you. Until you hit that link, let me get through building with my brother with my brother A1.
You
A1.
fattened me up for the slaughter.
No,
That's what you're saying, Craig?
bro. This ain't got nothing to do with what me and you disagreeing
Damn
on.
right.
I'm
I'm
agreeing
trying
with
to give
you.
you.
Come
I'm
on,
trying
bro.
to set you up for the slaughter.
Bro.
I'm a sinner
Please,
body.
bro.
Okay, I'm getting
Please.
the link for Courtney right
I'm,
now. Copy.
I'm A1. I'm not setting you up for no slaughter
Courtney,
right
the
now
link
because
is in the chat for you.
it's in the chat, Courtney. Right now, this is something that me and A1 is agreeing on. This ain't got nothing to do with the Bible, Christian, unbeliever, none of that. A1, send me a friend request on Facebook. My name is Jacobus Wyatt, bro. Send me a friend request.
How you spell
If
it?
you
I'm on
are,
my phone right now.
I put it in the back check for you. I'm gonna put it in the back check right now.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, bro, if you are into combat sports, first off, both of these creds can tell you because we friends on Facebook. I'm a huge WWE fan, and me being a WWE fan lead to me being a combat fan. I watch UFC every Saturday. I watch the fight nights all that. I watch boxing all that. Irrelevant. If you are a combat sports fighter, bro, please send me your friend request so that I can support you. I don't care if you're a believer or not, bro. Real talk. I don't care if you're a believer or not, bro.
I got you. I'm definitely gonna have a fight. I'm definitely gonna have a fight this year. You know, in the same way I promote my debates, I promote the fights. I give myself time to promote it so that way the people can come out. I don't try to slap it together and do nothing in 7 days. Like that's
Hey, nobody. We have Courtney on here. He got 20 minutes. He on lunch break.
Talk to me, Courtney. How you doing?
Blessings, peace. I was introduced to you through, I guess, the other conversation with you and the Christian Reaper. I don't know what y'all call it, my man.
Nice to finally speak with you.
Likewise. Yeah, DMG hit me up. I think he was trying to get me to basically stand in for the debate. I told him Wednesdays is really my only day. I got a crazy schedule. So yeah, we're gonna talk Wednesday. I don't know if it ain't gonna be no formal debate, but we can have a discussion.
Yeah, let's have a discussion. See what we agree on and what we disagree on. And then go from there. You know, it may lead to us debating on something totally different, but yeah, it'd be nice. You know, we don't have to bring out any sources. We can just go back and forth.
And another thing too, Courtney, you know, I'm the classic Craig. I'm the one that talked with earlier. I have some things too for you also. You know what I'm saying? Some things I got to set up also, man. You know what I'm saying? A couple of presentations, a couple of things we have to present also. But nah, man, we'll get the ball rolling, man. You know what I'm saying? I said you'll get here. You got here. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm going to cut nobody off, but what I was saying before I finish, I just want to let you know, A1, outside of the stuff that we do in the conscious community, Christian and all that, we can throw that to the side. If you're into combat sports, bro, send me a friend request. I would definitely.
He said that again. Hold on. He put his name back there. Oh, he put his name back there. Yep.
Yeah, make me a part. Whatever list that you have when you're finna do a fight, and you add, and you send them links or send them,
and tags. Yep, I got
promotion stuff. Tag me in there, bro. I'm all for that, bro. That goes beyond our belief. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Like, tag me in
it's funny
there, bro.
that DMG could tell I worked out through the thing. I'm like, that's funny. He said, "Hey, what be working out?" I'm like, "How y'all know I be working out?" It must be showing though.
And bro, I got a prominent position in security, bro. I've been doing security maybe 7 or 6 years right now. So I'm trained in a lot of stuff too. For example, my son, I'm not bragging on this, and forgive me to my lawyer and probably to the judge that we got to go to in the next month. Hold on, wait, bro, everybody, bro. I'm a 38-year-old nigga who ain't got no background. So believe me, I know what I'm saying before I say it. I work for Legal Shield and I work for a law firm right now. So I'm saying this to get closer to my brother A1. I just want to make it known, bro.
You do all this sleeping here later.
Hold up,
we
Craig,
trying to get down to court. We're not busy, bro. We stand on business.
Please, Ratchet. We stand on business. Please give me a chance.
So we trying to get down to court. Can we
please
try to
give
get a
me a
little
chance to
slight
finish.
preview right
Hold
quick?
on,
Quit,
hold on, Reg.
quit,
No,
please,
but
bro. Like,
we
damn,
ain't trying to
please, can
get
I finish, bro?
we ain't trying to get in
Please.
your way, bro. But Courtney only got he don't got that long. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
I know, and that's why I'm trying to make I could have been done two
I know,
minutes
but
ago, bro.
I know, but
I'm
we trying to get this to
forget
Courtney,
all
bro.
that.
Please, bro.
A1, A1. We
No
got
doubt.
more than one debate coming up in the future. We can
I
have
just
those
added
debates.
you, man. I just added
Right.
you, and we gonna leave.
Outside of those debates,
Yeah.
bro, because those debates is something that we disagree on. I'm trying to get you in the mind frame to something I do agree on right now. So everybody pause, please. A1, tag me
I love
in
you, bro.
tag me in your promotion, tag me in all that. I love combat sports, and don't nothing make me feel better than to brag on somebody in combat sports that I actually know. We all pick up people who we come across. Hey, they good. They A1. They Israel Alexandria and all that stuff. I don't
Oh
know that nigga,
God,
bro. I know
damn,
you, bro. If I can see you fight somebody or see you do your thing, bro, I will
Craig, stop
promote
it.
you
Craig,
more
stop
than
it.
anything. That's
Stop
all
it.
I'm trying to say, bro. Feel me
Okay,
real quick.
thank you, Courtney.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank
Hey,
Yo,
one,
you,
go
nigga.
ahead.
Thank
I,
you,
I
nigga.
was gonna ask you, A1, did you understand the argument that was being presented about the names being on manuscripts? Because the brother
Come
spoke it, he
come
did a
on,
good
Courtney.
job with it. He misspoke a little bit, understandable, but yeah.
Come
Do
on,
you
Courtney.
understand what he
Can
was
I
saying?
hear? Can I hear it from you?
Come on,
Sure.
Courtney.
So the evidence attests that the names were circulating with the documents at their earliest point in history. So the earliest manuscripts we have with the first chapter or the last chapter or the next book coming up in the same codex of the Gospels, all of them have a title. They all have a name affixed to the title or the postscript. So in P66, you find the ending of Luke and then the beginning of John. It says Kata Evangelion Lucanus and then Kata Evangelion Johann. So the gospel according to Luke, a little page break, then the gospel according to John. And then it begins in NRK and Alagas in Pastante, like beginning of where with
Every
God,
fragment.
all of that stuff. So that's in all of the extant manuscripts with either the first or the
All of them.
last
Every last one.
section.
Every last one of them.
No, that's the misspeaking coming out. Because I could bring up P52, P104. They do not have titles on the pages. They're not even the beginning or the closing section of the gospel.
But would
So
you agree,
those would not
Courtney?
be
But
good
would you agree,
evidences.
I'm trying to
Courtney? Would
find the
you
bomb
agree?
sound for Courtney. I can't find the bomb sound.
Not to cut you off, but Courtney, would you agree that those fragments, because notice if they're fragments, then they're just pieces of the books. Those fragments that we have line up with the fragments that we have that we do have names for. Would you agree for that? I mean, agree with that?
That's yeah. There's what's a good point, and there's only one possible evidence to the contrary of this notion. Because I only know well, arguably two. There's arguably two manuscripts that are considered to be mixed documents. One of them was just recently founded and commented on by Daniel Wallace, Michael Holmes, and all of them in the last papyrus manuscript
Right. There's
finding
two scrolls.
publication.
There's two scrolls. Yeah, there's two scrolls, not the gospel. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it's a mixed text. So, and that's a historical anomaly in light of the over 100,000 manuscripts we got of the New Testament.
Right. But those
And when I say
fragments,
100,000 manuscripts, I'm referring to no particular language basis. It's about
right.
a little less than 6,000 just in Greek.
Right, 6,000. Right.
From dated
You're
back
right.
to what time?
Dated back to first century.
As early as the middle second century. The physical
Okay.
documents date back to as early as the middle of the second century.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see what you have before the. That's what I want to
Well,
see. I want to see your second century manuscripts.
You're right, Courtney.
And I'm not. Again, like we can sit down and I can learn something from you. I haven't looked at them myself, so again,
But
I'm
what
quoting
if
PhDs on that matter. So it seemed more in
well,
depth
you
in your
gotta
studies, and they told me that you had were real read into that stuff, and you had started
You
letting
can't tell me
viruses
too.
I'm
Dog,
gonna
you
let
can't
you
tell me
know.
too.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know why
you
why
too.
Garfield put me in Dagger Squad. All right.
Mm.
Yeah,
8 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
8 years
That's what I
ago.
want to see.
8
I want to
years
see
ago.
that Courtney
Remember.
beef.
Remember Garfield 8 years ago. This is before Ehrman's read
Hey,
book about historical Jesus. 8 years ago, what was
before
Garfield saying?
Garfield said that
Jesus
Jesus
was a
existed.
man.
Yeah, before he
Hello,
said he existed. Come on
Garfield got
now.
to talking with
Come
me, and
on now.
eventually
Come
his
on, Courtney.
perspective changed.
Come on, Courtney.
nobody.
Come on, Courtney.
We don't need the A-man section right now.
Okay, I gotta see these second century
I'm finna
manuscripts. That's what I want to see, man.
amen, Courtney. I'm finna dig up Courtney because I remember Garfield 8 years ago. Garfield even said that, hey, it was a point in time where I didn't believe Jesus existed, but until he started following the evidence, it is evidence, bro. Point blank. Point blank.
I'm
Now,
just gonna, I'm
Hold
gonna
on,
give,
hold
you know,
on, hold on,
hold
bro.
up. Let me finish.
Put the chili, put the
Let me
chili the
finish.
popcorn
he
down.
cool,
Let me
Courtney.
finish.
Let him good. I mean, not
Can I
Courtney.
finish?
He cool,
Can I
Craig.
please
Let him go
finish?
for a second.
People like Bud Ehrman, for example. Bud Ehrman is a PhD scholar who has a degree in the area that we're talking about right now. Bud Ehrman is not a believer. Bud
Man,
Ehrman is not, hold on, let me finish. Bud Ehrman is
appeal
not
to
a
authority.
believer.
Come on, man.
No, listen to me though. This is a good appeal to authority means that appealing to authority when a person is not an expert
Oh,
in this
God.
area. That's what it means. So hold up, second
Okay,
off.
okay.
Okay,
I mean,
now wait.
but
What is he
Hold on,
doing, A-man?
wait.
He's trying to
Craig,
hijack the show.
Craig,
He's a
this is
Christian
between
hijacker right
Craig,
now.
Craig. This is between me, A1, and I don't
No,
even know if
it's
Courtney is
not.
Christian.
No, it's
Can you
not. It's
pause,
between A1 and
bro?
Courtney.
Can you
It's between
please
A1.
pause,
Do I have
bro?
to put you in the back? Do I have to put you in the
it
back?
wasn't
Bro,
between
can
Courtney.
you just
What
pause,
Courtney
So
bro?
said
what,
was
bro?
above
Cause
my head. I couldn't dispute
Can you
nothing he was
now?
talking about. But
I want to
he
admit,
he said he
A1 is
had
a
what I
mid.
asked for, so I'm gonna give
Thank
him a
you,
chance to
thank
teach
you,
me something.
A1. Thank you. A1 is a mid.
yeah, you
I
say
didn't try to.
it today,
Craig, please, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro.
bro.
Please.
Please,
Can
baby,
you
don't
just
go.
please let us talk, bro? Courtney just
Go
said the
ahead, bro.
same.
I'm finna be there. I'm finna be
God
there. Go ahead.
dang. Okay,
Craig,
thank you.
Craig, let him
Can
go.
I
Let
be
him.
there?
Thank you. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can.
Yeah, okay,
Courtney
okay.
just, Courtney just admitted to the same thing that I just admitted to. A1 not being biased. He's being honest. He is not well read or well studied on this particular subject. He is well read or well studied on other subjects. We're not denying that. So can you please just let us go? Courtney just matched up to
You
what
got
I was
weird
saying.
study on that shit.
Oh
You're just
my
winging it
God.
right
Bro,
now.
yes,
You're just
I am.
winging it right now. Get that
All
out, bro.
tonight. A1.
Yo, I
A1.
appreciate
A1.
I appreciate the
All tonight
capsule.
since A1. All tonight since the conversation. I'm not talking about any other area that me and you haven't touched. The areas that me and you have touched. Wouldn't you agree that I'm knowledgeable on those areas, bro?
Yeah, it seemed like you knew what
Okay.
Courtney was talking about, and I'm like,
Thank
okay,
you.
I never
Okay.
read them.
And that's it.
I
We don't
asked
have to
for a
go.
certain ones from a certain time period.
Right.
He'll said he'd be able to bring them forth. You know, I have
Right.
questions, and if
And
he
I
can
was gonna get
answer them, then I'll be like, okay, you know what, I could deal with you, or
and watch
you made that make
and
sense.
I
But
was
if
gonna
we
get there.
can't,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
I was getting there before I got cut off. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought Courtney was a different person than who I thought he was. Courtney is not the same person who I thought Courtney was. I don't know if he's a believer or a non-believer, but based
I'm a
off of
believer.
based off of the particular conversation that me and you was having, not everything that we said tonight, just based off of a particular conversation that we was having. Courtney just came in and said what he said, and you agreed that, okay, I may need to brushing up my studies on that particular area. That's not no slight to you or me or anything. I got areas I need to brush up in too. All I was saying, based off of that area, bro, there were no, and I said
Hey,
it
what?
first.
Hey, what?
What's
I
up?
Yes,
think
sir.
you. I don't think you is running for Courtney right now. You trying to get.
I don't
You
know
trying to get
Courtney.
this
I
No,
don't
bumper.
even
I'm
know
trying to
You
Courtney.
bait
trying to get this
Courtney in to
bumper
come
A
talk
space.
to
lot
me.
of people
Right.
don't
You
A1 trying to
know.
is
bait.
running for Courtney right
A1 is
now.
trying.
You trying to get this
No,
bumper space.
I see.
And
look.
it's nobody.
Here's
I
the
see
thing.
what
When I
I
don't
see.
know something, I
No,
don't
he
want
ain't
to
got
talk about
nobody.
it. So all I
He
can do
ain't
is
got
Everybody
learn right
nobody.
pause.
That
now.
nigga can
Y'all
go.
gotta
He
stop
got
over
5
there.
minutes to go for his
Hey,
apology.
everybody,
One mic,
as the
one mic.
co-host, as the co-host of Paradigm Shift TV 314, can I please just ask everybody to pause? I'm not trying to show no authority or nothing. I just want to say, as the co-host of this platform, can I please everybody pause?
Bro, he got 3 minutes to go before his lunch break over with, bro.
I don't even need. Okay, thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. I don't even need 3 minutes. Yeah, I don't even need 3 minutes. I do want AOne and Courtney to get back to the conversation that they was having. All I wanted to imply is that, based off of the evidence, you admitted, AOne, that, and this is not no slight to you, bro, because I don't know algebra, nigga. So if somebody want to teach me algebra, I gotta just shut up and listen. You admitted that you have
Shut
to
up
brush
with
up.
A1 and listen. Shut up,
Nah,
A1 and listen.
Craig, you the only
That's
one
why
that's
he was
stopping
trying
me.
to. That's where
Hey,
you took that.
Craig, you the only one.
listen, nobody. Courtney ain't got that much time. A1 and him was talking. I know you want to jump
Go
in,
ahead.
bro.
Okay, I'll shut up. Go
Let
ahead,
Courtney
Courtney.
and A1 get into it, bro.
Go ahead, Courtney.
Oh, I mean, it all depends. A1 and I already have a scheduled conversation. I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. Man, she just stopped. She's looking at me like, "What are you talking to?" Y'all in my ear.
Courtney, I'm married too, bro.
But yeah, long story short, this is more or less just me and A1's direct acquaintance, getting to know each other, because I didn't know what an A1 was other than the sauce until
Allen Iverson.
this is now. Hold on, y'all didn't need to do no bomb, man. I'm not trying to crack jokes, man.
Nah,
Y'all
we
funny.
did 100. We did 100.
Y'all funny, man. I don't know how influential A1 is. I literally just learned about who he was recently. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to try to rag on his man. I am not
So
treating this
can we
guy
set y'all
nothing
up
like
for a future dialogue or debate? Courtney, can we set you and A1? Now, me and A1 already got something going on, but after us, can we set y'all up for a future dialogue or debate?
sure.
That's already
I'm down with
settled,
that.
bro. What the fuck you doing? Hey, what?
I'm
I
asking.
mean, no,
We're
man.
probably gonna
What
get
you?
Yeah,
on
we about to set something up
Wednesday.
with both of y'all, and we're
Let's
gonna pull
do
the
it. Let's
calendar
do
out,
it.
and we're gonna take our time.
Paradigm shift.
First we got to
How
figure out
is
what we agree on and what we disagree on. I don't like speaking on things I don't know about. I'd rather just say I don't know, and I have to sit this
so
conversation out. Like some stuff
Exactly.
I can't talk about it if I haven't studied it.
And that's
And so I
just
perfectly
don't.
know
fine with me.
So when
just
you
know that
bringing
this
up certain papyruses, I do have certain questions and certain stipulations on certain stuff for it to count as evidence, and I can lay that out. And if it meets the criteria, I'll be like, "Hey, good looking. I'm glad we ran into each other." So that
can we do it on Paradigm Shift TV 314?
you won't have to worry about me arguing you to the end. I'll be like, "This guy's got it. Give him the
Hey,
belt."
bro, A1, man, you
What's
can set, bro. We can
who muted this guy? Who muted you? Why is he muted? Let me unmute him.
muting me, but bro, we can have classic debates, bro. Like me and you, 1-on-1, bro. Bring the topic up. I think you are a knowledgeable brother.
Yeah, he
Ain't
sounds like he's
nobody. I
trying to
don't
set
even
me
like
up for the
calling you by
slaughter.
your name on here.
Courtney, you got
I think
anything
you
to say
brother.
They
before you got
lying
to go
to
back to
each
work?
I
other,
don't
bro.
know
He
who keep
on lunch
muting me,
break.
bro. Like, what the hell?
He on
My
lunch
only
break,
comment,
bro. They
my
just say
only
that,
comment
bro.
right
You
now,
is
my only comment right now is nobody. You are somebody. You need to change your name. I don't like calling another man nobody.
Pop, real quick.
I like
I mean,
that.
Courtney, hold on, Courtney. If would this make sense to you that I call myself nobody because there was a song released in the '70s that says, "I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody." Now, that's the only reason why I take that name. I'm just being now. Hold on. Now,
Hey, that's a blessing right there, man.
none of y'all stay in Dallas outside of Classic Craig. I call myself nobody because I try to be humble under Christ, bro. I'm big headed. I'm arrogant. I'm self-centered. All that. I call myself Wyatt for that same reason. I used to be a rapper, bro. You hear me? And I got flyers,
you still
posters.
that same nigga.
Can you pause, bro? I got vehicles wrapped with my face on it, bro, that have been traveling through the state of Texas. I used to do 5 shows a week. I'm 38 right now. I stopped rapping when I was like 29 or something like that or whatever. So I know that I'm not a nobody, but in comparisons to who Christ is the reason why I call myself nobody. Not that I specifically think that I'm a nobody, bro. And
As a brother in the Lord, I
hold on, and
understand that.
classic Craig, classic Craig is younger than me. And we've never met each other, even though we stay 5 minutes away from each other. But I'm pretty sure that he probably came across some of my flyers, posters, and all that. Classic
Yeah, y'all
Craig
know
can
y'all
tell
was
y'all.
just in
No,
Walmart and
he
behind
did.
each
No,
other
he
while we
did.
had the
Classic,
No, he did.
classic Craig can tell y'all that I'm not a nobody, bro. I am somebody, but I take the back seat when it comes to Christ. That's why I call myself nobody. Go ahead, Courtney.
I understand it. No, I understand that.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it. I
it's
appreciate
about
it. I
time for me
appreciate
to
it.
get ready to go in. I'm about to say a couple of more words, and then I'm just gonna get back in the YouTube channel and listen to y'all for the rest of the night. Number one, thank you for giving me the link. AOne, I can't wait to have a further discussion in the future with you.
AOne.
Just to let you know, some of my interests are primarily in manuscripts and not just New Testament manuscripts. I deal with a lot of first century and ancient Near Eastern manuscripts.
Come
I'm
on,
not
Courtney.
fluent in these languages, but I understand the methods enough to apply them
Mhm.
and
No,
to
hold on,
identify
Courtney,
them even in
hold on,
translation.
Courtney.
Stop!
But
No, you don't get to cut him off no
wait,
more.
hold
You
on,
don't get to cut him off
one
no
second.
more.
Everybody, give me 1 second, real quick.
No, 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 no. Courtney, go
Boy,
ahead.
why are you cutting him off? Why
No, I
y'all ain't
can't
beating
let you. Come
him?
on, man. I
Why
let you
y'all
do
not
this
beating
to him 20
him?
please
times.
give me.
Why y'all not beating him? Y'all beat me. Like,
No.
let that like, get that nigga off.
I just want one.
I ain't kicking him
Please,
off, but he got to be muted.
No, please,
Courtney, go
Courtney.
ahead, man. Courtney, go
Hold
ahead.
on, Courtney.
Hold on,
No, bro, let Courtney go.
hold on,
Courtney
wait.
gotta leave,
brother.
bro.
Courtney,
You can talk to
Just
him.
let
You
me
can
finish.
friend
Just let
request
me
him,
finish,
bro.
and then you can go ahead. Just
one
let me
thing,
finish.
please,
You
Why you trying to keep
okay? You
cutting him
get
off?
20.
please,
You get 10 seconds. Go. 10 seconds.
one.
Go.
Okay, Courtney. Okay, he gave me 10 seconds, y'all. Courtney, there are no manuscripts for the Old Testament and New Testament. That's all I want to say. Go ahead.
There's what?
Go ahead, Courtney.
They
I
say
really didn't hear the
they
question
say
all the
that
way.
they're on. You said that you're only going to go off of manuscripts, but they say
No.
now I'm agreeing with you. There are no manuscripts. Go ahead, Courtney.
Oh my
Who is
goodness.
they? Who is that?
Okay. Anyway, I love manuscripts. The field of textual criticism is my field of emphasis. Uh, Not just personally, like, and when I say this is coming from somebody that was getting a bachelor's of biblical studies, affiliating themselves with actual critical Facebook pages, sharing information, and the teachers, like big names in the field, like Dan Wallace esque names, even people that Dan Wallace edited books for, communicated to me directly, PhDs and teachers. They told me that they thought that I had a better field and understanding of the field than many of their PhD students. They began to ask me, where do I go to school at? I told them Grand Canyon University online. First thing they tried to do was get me to come to their department. So
That's
this
right.
is a real field of emphasis that I love and I enjoy. And that's the main reason why when I saw you sharing that one screen, I literally just walked by my phone and I saw that one screen you had about inauthentic, inauthentic regarding the Paul's letters. I was like, yo, I understand where you're trying to go, but whatever you quoting or whatever you're understanding that you read, you're misunderstanding. Because all this undisputed and authentic books of Paul have Paul's name in the text. They're not formally anonymous. So one of the things you can't do is attribute formal anonymousness to the Pauline letters, because just about all of them basically have, hi, this is Paul, servant of Jesus Christ, Lord Jesus Christ, all of this stuff. He attributes an or at the end, like in Romans. Romans technically has Paul as the main voice, but Paul is not the one writing down the words, because at the end of Romans, what do you read? You read his writing secretary, his amanuensis, signing off on the penmanship of what he heard. and copy down. And that was a normative way of writing letters, personal letters, things of that sort in the ancient time period. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the inauthentic and authentic thing is not pertaining to manuscripts whatsoever. It's pertaining to primarily the verbiage in the given document with a known attributed author in comparison to other texts. So, real briefly, Corinthians, Galatians, Romans, Philippians varies very much the same type of verbiage is in all three of those books. Before, I forget how many I just named, but yeah, very much the same. Those are considered authentic primarily due to the verbiage, the way the author writes or utilizes his vocabulary, common vocabulary with each other texts. They have an attributed author. Therefore, those texts are normally considered to be authentic. Um, a disputed or inauthentic text is a text that is doubted by critical scholars primarily on the base, not only, but primarily on the basis of vocabulary uh, in the letter, what in comparison to other documents of the same attributed author. So, like uh, Philemon, well, I forget if Philemon is considered one of those authentic ones. Colossians. Okay,
Colossians.
Colossians is often considered not Pauline, and it's primarily because of some of the verbiage. So yeah, and if it's not Pauline, it's pseudepigrapha, falsely attributed, and that's the technical term meaning that the attributed author Paul is not the actual author. That's all I gotta say, and I really appreciate y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all is cool. I swear.
We appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, blessings,
We
peace.
got a lot, Mr. Courtney. We got a lot for you too on Paradigm Shift Chief. I'll be reaching out to you, man. I'm the one with the little flame, little notes, but we'll reach out to you. But other than that, man, hey man, that was one heck of a show.
Hey,
What y'all brothers?
Courtney, let me
Let's
say this,
close
to
out,
Courtney,
bro.
right quick.
Nah, he already left, bro.
Let's close out, bro.
But
Everybody, let's
let me
close out.
announce this. Let me announce this to Courtney right quick. I'm an atheist, brother, and your demonstration of the work, not appealing to authority, is the
Live,
reason why I can believe in
live.
a historical Jesus. And that's the reason. 'Cause he that God.
Hey,
Courtney that God.
bump all that stuff Ratchet talking about, man. Courtney don't need you to give him no accolades. Look here.
Come on, Courtney.
I got it
You
on
on point.
good authority that the Slim Reaper was in the building and y'all didn't let him up.
That's what I heard.
It sound like he's saying y'all was scared.
I let him up. I let him up, and y'all kicked him out.
I thought he left. I
Nah,
thought
he ain't
nobody let
left.
him in.
Yeah,
You
and
let
y'all
Nobody was
kicked
gonna
him
let him
out.
in.
And y'all kicked him out.
See him pop up.
Nah, ain't nobody. Nope.
I seen
Nope.
him. He ain't need to come on here. He ain't want to come on
Man,
here and
he make
debate,
Come
the
on, bro.
topic.
but he
Did he
wanted to
make the
show up.
topic?
Come on, bro. Why y'all do him like that? Why y'all do him like that? Come on, bro. Y'all got
Man, because
admin power.
it's he got to have a little more respect for the platform. It's not
Y'all
even
are
about
admin
me.
though.
Wait,
This
hold
guy,
on,
he think he could do this
hold on.
diva stuff and disappear,
Craig,
cancel the debate
Ratchet,
3 times, still
Ratchet
show
Craig.
up.
No, wait. Ratchet Craig is an admin. Classic Craig is admin. Why y'all didn't let him in, bro?
Bro, we didn't even see it. DMD had me. Why he
No,
got
we
No,
talking
he
about
me?
can't try
y'all.
to
We ain't talking
crash the
about
DMD
party and
had
DMG.
say,
me.
well,
Why
We
he
ain't
since
got
talking about
me?
y'all
DMG.
still
We ain't
had it,
talking
I'm gonna
about
show up
DMG.
anyway.
No,
Like,
we ain't talking
bro,
about
stay at
DMG. We
home.
talking about y'all. Y'all.
Oh, we talking about us.
Hey, hold on, Ratchet. I
DMD
got
is
you.
the bad guy.
No, we ain't talking about
Focus on
DMG.
that nobody.
Hey,
We
Ratchet.
ain't talking
DMD
about
is the
DMG
bad
though.
guy. Focus
Okay.
on that.
DMG left the channel. DMG left the channel an hour ago. We ain't talking about DMG. We talking
Okay,
about y'all.
hold on, right quick, Ratchet. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I saw him. I saw Mr. Yellow.
You
I didn't let
saw.
him in. I
Yeah,
saw
you
him. I
didn't.
didn't let him in. I did
You
not
didn't
let
do it.
him in.
You
I
didn't.
saw him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing. At the end of the day, right? I find it funny that something he did not want to do, he didn't show up right and center. I knew he was in the comments watching because he couldn't. His little mind just couldn't just stay away from this whole debate. He
I
couldn't
give you
stay
that,
away.
Craig.
He couldn't
I
stay
give you
away because
that.
you want to know why he couldn't stay away? If you look at every video of things he said he would not do.
That's right.
Hold up.
That's right.
If you look at
That's
every
right.
video of things he said he would not do,
That's right.
and he said he will debate, and he goes and do it, he popped up in the middle of A1's debate. So this was his whole elaborate scheme, his insidious scheme to see what he was talking about first,
right?
Jump in and try to say he was all stupid instead of facing his man one-on-one square up.
If
If he really wanted to debate A1, he would have been here right and center, ready. He knew what day it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
He trying to piggyback off other people's information. He trying to piggyback off other people's information. He a piggyback ass nigga.
Leon, the brother got a good argument, bro. Come on, man. What's up, bro?
Good argument.
Hey, look, I want everybody to close out except for A1. He going last. We're going to start with nobody from Trust and Believe the Gospel. Talk about the new debate. Then we're going to go to classic ratchet on down. Let's go.
Bro, B New ain't got no chance in proving the stuff that he has to prove because in no way, shape, or form will he be able to prove transmission. If you don't know what transmission is, he will not be able to prove that the people who he's claiming stole this stuff from were people that was in the area, stole, written down, copied all this stuff in order to be able to put it into the Bible. So we through with that. The debate is over based off what I just said. Tonight, hey, A1, hey, bro, you cool, you good, you know what I'm saying? I would love to have more dialogues with you in the future, man, and we can talk about whatever, bro. I'm not going first off, my brother Leandre did not run. He just had a preference. But whatever preference that you have, I'm not going to run from that. We can cast this on Paradigm Shift, the whole effing show, Trust and Believe the Gospel, Sinetta TV, the Lion's Den, Judah Maz, whoever you want to do this thing on, bro.
You do it on Judah Naz, you better not bring your ass back over here.
If that's what my brother said, then that's what it is, and that's what it's gonna be. But at the bottom of the bottom
subscribe
line,
now.
And what it is at today, bro. Hey man, I appreciate you. I appreciate Classic. I appreciate that dumb nigga Ratchet. Even though he my nigga, he dumb as hell. Still my nigga though, bro. I love all of y'all, bro. And my goal, believe it or not, my goal is to bring all y'all brothers back to Christ. Some of y'all are on a higher level than the next person. Some of y'all are on the lower level than the next person. But irregardless, bro, my goal is to bring all y'all back to Christ, not under no umbrella of dishonesty, not under no umbrella of ad hominems, cussing y'all out, calling y'all names, talking about your mama, talking about your lifestyle, or whatever it is that it takes to come to that, bro. I genuinely just want to have conversations, bro. And if my conversations don't change your mind, hopefully it may change the mind of the people who are in the audience that are listening, bro. I got love for all of y'all.
Subscribe
and my name
now.
is Nobody. My name is Nobody because I'm trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody, and that is Jesus the Christ. Let's go, DMG.
Hey, hold on real quick, DMG. I got to ask Nobody this question right quick. Hey, Nobody. You said honesty. I want to see how honest you are. See how honest
I'm always honest. Always honest.
So did Leandre come up here showing private text messages on the chat first on Paradigm Shift?
He did.
Okay, so that's the thing right there. Should that stay in the chat, Nobody? Yes or
no? Should it stay in the chat? Me personally, based off of his consideration of why he showed the text, he said that he would not share text based off of the people that he considered worthy of not showing the text. The reason why he showed text to the person that he did show text to, he don't consider those people worthy. So I'll have to give a caveat to that.
Okay, so here's the thing. I gotta say this though. If I pissed you off and I got into it with Nobody, you would look at me as a little girl by going up there and doing that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
What man would do that? I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying,
okay.
That's why we got a problem.
No, okay. I said
right,
no.
Can we go to the next person? Can we go to the next person?
No, wait. He asked me a question. Now, based off of the understanding that you just had after me letting you get out everything that you said, yes, I would consider a person who gave out private information to everybody, a girl that shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I agree with you on that, bro. Yeah, I agree.
All right,
I'm satisfied with your answer, brother.
Classic Craig, close out.
All right, so man, other than that, man, we had a great show, great bill. We had Courtney, we had Nobody, which is a somebody that cares about everybody, that want everybody to come to Jesus Christ, which is nobody. But you know, at the end of the day, man, we had a great show. Now check it out, right? We have DMG versus the multiversal monarch of masterful, majestic, and magical music, the one and only Neo Love, the one himself. They are going to have their debate dialogue with White Hennessy and Paul Mason talking about who is the greatest musical artist, right? Now, that's going to be a heck of a debate.
Michael Jackson or Prince. He say Michael Jackson, I say Prince. Now, again, this debate with the great Neo X, the brother is great. Shout out to the brother. But But great men and great women have to be humbled all the time. Michael Jordan didn't shoot 50% every time he stepped out on the court. He was still great. Same thing for my man Kobe Bryant. So that I'm not knocking Neo greatness. Neo is great, but I gotta humble him on this particular question because this ain't about who was the greater pop culture icon, who sold the most records. This is about who is the greater musical artist. Not even who's the better vocalist.
Michael Jackson, bro. Come on.
So again, when we get down to brass tacks, one person is an awesome performer, amazing performer, and an amazing vocalist.
He ain't nobody.
And this other cat is absolutely astounding on the guitar, the piano, a couple of horns. Like this dude, the instrument. Look.
Hey, I know he's excited, G. I know he's excited.
Yeah, save it.
You better not sleep on Neo. Because you know what Neo said? Neo said, I'm the musician. DMG is not. He's a fan. There's a difference.
But DMG, he comparing DMG to a musician. He comparing DMG to a musician, but DMG is not a musician. DMG is a poet. And if Neo X want to step in the ring of poetry, he'll lose all day to DMG. Stop playing that.
Y'all calling him Neo.
Yeah, but he's like rap. Hey, rap is considered poetry. Hey, rap is
no,
come on.
To a certain extent, not fully.
When Neo rap, he's like poetry.
No, I'm a rap artist. I'm pretty sure I've done more shows than Neo X, nigga. I've done shows in my life. So DMG is a poet.
Nobody. Not Neo X.
My bad. You're right. Neo Love. Hello. I correct myself. Neo Love is an artist, just like I'm an artist. I started rapping based off of my poetry. My poetry is nowhere near the level of DMG poetry. So to try to place artistry in the same era as poetry is a fallacy. We don't. I don't have to have no beat when I'm writing poetry. I don't have to have no hook when I'm writing poetry. I don't have to have no background singers, no artistry, or none of that. DMG is the number one. I'm 38 years old. I haven't met no poet, and I know Bray Wyatt. Y'all might not know who Bray Wyatt is. I know who Bray Wyatt is. I've never met no poet. I've never met no poet on the same level as DMG. So we're not gonna compare. So we are not gonna compare. Can you pause?
I'm
Everybody
a
pause.
pimping that shit,
Everybody
DMG.
pause.
I'm pimping that shit.
Everybody pause. Everybody pause. We are not gonna compare artistry to the same. Poetry to the same level as artistry, and I'm an artist. Can't do it. Let's
Neo
go.
Love can do it.
Neo can do it. Neo can do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You
Neo
can't
Love
do it.
can't do it.
Neo Love can do it.
Neo,
Yeah.
if Neo Love
Hey,
is an artist,
know.
if Neo Love is an artist the
Hey,
same way that I'm an artist, Neo Love will admit that poetry and artistry are two different things. Stop playing, bro.
Nobody. Just hold, like, check it out, because I want to get back to Craig so he can close out. But look, Neo, I got love for you, bro. You're great. Hey, some of my favorite Sonetta bangers. I'm waiting on my song, Neo. I'm waiting on my song. I mean, you know, I don't know what you're waiting on. I kind of halfway feel like I might need to take it easy on you, because I don't want you to get mad.
I don't like that nigga like me.
Mad, Neo, when this fan beat the musician, because that's what's about to happen.
Yes.
Like, I almost want to be like it's a wrestling match and be like, what you gonna do? But that ain't really it. You know what I'm saying? Or what my man say? I'm the best there is, the best there was, but that probably
the best that ever be. The best that ever be.
You know.
Man, don't belittle yourself.
I got it. Nobody.
Neo Love, we love, man. Hey, I love DMG. I love
DMG.
DMG.
The Bible believing man. Neo Love is a Bible believing
man. DMG. I love DMG. Neo Love, we love you. You our brother. You welcome back on this channel anytime, and you got what my brother DMG say, and I'm
ain't welcome back on this channel. He ain't welcome back on this channel.
You,
he ain't welcome back on this channel,
bro. No, he welcome back. Neo Love, you are an artist in your own lane, musical artist in your own lane. If you want, not just you, if anybody want to compare you to my brother DMG when it comes to poetry, stop playing with me. Let's go.
You stupid. Man, look, that ain't the debate. I'm gonna tell you the debate in a minute. But since Neo Love is a Bible believing man, like he believing it heavy, like he'll pull out a scripture on you in a minute. I got the wrestling promo for you, Neo. You got your John 3:16. DMG 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass. That's what happened when we compare Prince and Michael Jackson in terms of who's
DMG, do I got to put my bed out for you? DMG, should I cut my camera on and pull the bed out for you?
Let's pass it back to Classic Craig. Let him finish his close out, because I did interrupt him. I got a little hype. My bad.
And you got the right to. Go ahead.
Don't make me start drinking, nigga. I'm gonna start drinking and interrupting y'all.
Well, pop open the Bud Light. Pop open the Bud Light, nigga.
Y'all good. Y'all just, it's a show of drunks tonight. But anyway, I'm gonna say this though. Check it out, right? That's 3 p.m. Saturday, man. Make sure you check it out. The one Neo Love versus DMG the Poet. Also coming up, I'll probably drop it either next week or so. No, this week coming up. I'm sorry. Be tuned to watch a devastating foe for all Christians to come back on the channel. The one and only raging and raving Sabio Robinson will be back on the channel.
Don't drop no bomb for that.
The one and only. Christians holler, scream, and squeal. He make them all hollow, scream, and squeal. So he will be
subscribe now.
Not only that, right? You have a few other Christians coming on. Y'all seen Courtney. We got another loved one, right? Another loved one. He disagreed with AOne about the existence of Jesus. He is down for discussions and to teach. I'm not going to spoil his name. Had a great conversation with the brother. but we have so much we are to bring on Paradigm Shift and the whole effing show.
Spoil it.
But other than that, I'll never spoil it. Master
Spoil
never
it.
tells.
Sabio trash, dude.
Hey. But I'm just letting y'all know it's gonna be a banger.
That other Christian got a day of the week named after him. That's all I'm.
Sabio cool, man. Sabio cool, man. Hey, y'all go to the panel. Check out the latest debates that I and Sabio have had on the channel. Sabio cool, man. He cool.
Sabio transformed, man. So y'all sleeping on Sabio. He got something for that. Like I talked with the brother.
Craig, that nigga said that Holy Bible means Helio BBO. That nigga ain't got nothing. But anyway, he cool.
No. Sabio about y'all in the past. Sabio was in the future. He moved on. Y'all that is very, very neurological. I gotta say that.
All right. Shout out Sabio.
Let's get over to AOne. AOne. I know you withheld a lot of info because again, you might be having this conversation probably with a nobody.
Yeah, I didn't show. I pulled a lot of stuff out of there. Again, it was already separated in like 3 because I didn't know where he was gonna go with the argument. So
that being the case, if you were to have this dialogue or this debate with nobody or Courtney or whomever, how much deeper can you go with this info?
I'm hoping that we can hone it down to maybe a specific topic or piece of evidence. We can still have the same debate. You know, if somebody feels like they just want to step up, you know, I give them an opportunity to present their information for their people too. You know what I'm saying? It's not always just about, you know, I don't think any of this stuff is ever redundant. You know, there's people watching everywhere. I heard somebody on the podcast say that last week. Like, people are still debating that. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, well, yeah. If people are thinking it just sounds like an apologist argument to get us to stop talking about the fact, you know, things that make them uncomfortable. So it's like, you know, if the white folks doing it and you ain't cussed Bert Armor out yet about it, so why is this so much animosity when we doing it on Paradigm Shift? So I think that's unfair. So yeah, I'm definitely ready to have the same debate and topic and debate on this topic with anyone. Nobody, whatever you want to talk about, man. We just got to find out what we disagree on, because you know we're gonna agree on some things.
Yeah, I love you, bro. Let's find out. Even though we can have the same argument on whatever subject that you want to have it on, bro. I don't care what it is. I love you, bro.
We're gonna talk and we're gonna set it up and we're gonna make it a big deal. You know, I like to make everything I do a big deal. So,
and I know you were talking. You may not know you were talking. You may not know you was talking about me. I'm one of the biggest proponents on Paradigm Shift to say that a lot of these arguments are old. But me personally, I ain't the one that's saying that I'm not willing to rehash these same old arguments, bro. That's other people. But notice, I ain't got no degrees. I ain't been to college. I ain't got nothing past a high school diploma. So, you know, I still feel that it's need and necessary to have these same arguments, even though I feel like a lot of these arguments was placed back in the 1960s. So I'm not that person. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. I tried to bring some information that I hadn't seen other people in the community bring when I watch debates or videos on these topics. I tried to bring some terms that I know people hadn't heard when I you know, because I have seen this debate on platforms that we already brought up on here.
Yeah, you've seen it too, bro.
I try to keep it fresh because I already know what people have seen. So I tried to do something a little bit different, but you know, there's only so much you can do with what we have. So
there we go. Good point. No, bro. It's like you're saying. I ain't got no PhDs or no master's degree, and I don't know a lot about you. But from my perspective, you ain't got no PhDs or no master's degrees either.
Nope.
But me and you still hear people in this community still looking for the truth on those particular subjects. It don't matter how old the subject is. If the subject is old as hell, it can be old as dirt. If there is somebody who's still looking for confirmation on that particular subject, and the person who want to argue for whatever side they want to argue, then we should still be able to be willing to get out here and have those arguments. Let's go.
I like how you put that.
AOne, tell
Confirmation. That's a
people
good word.
let the people know where to find your channel, what you got going on social media. I'll do that right quick.
You can find me at Astral Projections 369 on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Hold on, AOne. Is it a particular reason why you chose 3, 6, 9? Come on, bro. Help me out. Come on. Laugh for me real quick and then help me out.
Because you know Nikola Tesla and the 3, the 6, and the 9. If you know the power of the 3, 6, and the 9, you know.
I know.
That's why I chose 3, 6, 9. I just gravitate to those numbers now and try to stay in alignment with that. So
what about 7?
It's fun. It's funny because I got this thing. It's funny. I got this thing at work, right, where I got to spin this thing to loosen to put the metal on because I make hoses and shit. Now I used to have my own business, but it's a long story. Anyway,
I got you.
I spin it a certain number of times, and I always skip 7. I don't know why. I'll be going to 9 or I'll try 6, and I completely skip 7.
Yeah, we gonna have to get somebody on and do a show on numbers and numerology and all of that too. But that being said, y'all look for Nobody versus Lord Banu next week. Y'all look for AOne versus everybody. We got Courtney coming up. We got a special returning Christian brother who ain't been on the channel in a while, but now he returning. We got him coming up. We got a dialogue with Nobody coming up. It's AOne against the world of believers. If you a believer, Cap 10K, that means you. Mashallah, that means you. If you a believer in the Bible, AOne is here to assuage you of the burden of your belief. So the brother is ready to rock with whoever want to step up to the plate. And so for that reason, I'm saying he may have to be the inaugural Paradigm Shift TV 314 champion. Now I might have to get like a little digital belt whenever he on here and put it up under here. And because look, shout out to Sarnetta. He just said Jabari was the champ. You know what I mean? They ain't never had like a tournament or nothing. He just said Jabari was the champ. If I ain't mistaken, I think the same thing with Nepal. So why I can't say the brother the champ? We have a tournament to decide who's gonna get a shot. But then I don't know because or he just put it on the line in the tournament. I'm just saying. But I gotta consult the Craig and Craig law firm. But that's my proposal. I say the brother should be the first ever champ just on GP. But we're gonna see what the law firm have to say. Me and Neo love Prince or Michael Jackson. Who is the greater musical artist? I got Prince. He got Mike. We're gonna see what's what. This is a long time coming. We had a little brief back and forth when I interviewed the brother. Now we get to get down to it, pull some information out, talk about these brothers and they various talents and all of that. Neo gonna be in for a long day. He said he a musician. I'm just a fan. Well, this fan is about to humble the musician. So shout out to my brother Neo. I put the challenge out to my brother Mudawa. Is atheism a religion? Do you want to get down on that Arius conversation? I'm with the boo boo. So you know, let's get it. And with that being said, family, we're gonna be black at it. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff coming up for you. This brother over here, he ready. So all he just wanted to come on and do real quick was a demonstration, and we've been on almost 4 hours. So, I hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll be back at it again. It's been Paradigm Shift TV 314. That's the brother AOne. We're going to see y'all on next rip. That's peace.